dropped in ace for Michaela Martinez.
No score here in the top of the third. Swing on the outside. Not
Old for Eldorado right before we came back with that big play. He's going to the corner. He's wide open. It's a touchdown to Omar El Shanawi.
Blattman, a sophomore out of Abyssal County. That one's hit well, and Ziegler.
Rose got a receiver open, caught.
Wow.
Touchdown. What a throw from Rivera to Ben Wilson. That's a 32-yard or 29-yard strike. Academy on the board.
Peyton prop and hit hard by Ziegler over the center fielder's head. Can't get to it. That will score Delosier. They send her home. There's the throw. She's in there safe.
Bynum with the game-leading goal. Lamar Bynum.
21 targets to go for it. Rivera back to pass, 7-step drop. Looking in the end zone, going to Garris. Caught down at the 6-yard line. First down. Wow.
Man.
What a catch by Kellen Garris.
Goes around Bynum. Here's Kumar.
What's good?
What'd it do?
It well, it don't do enough if you're living in the Bronx or in New York City somewhere, because the Yankees are done after giving up 3 early. Garrett Cole, the $300 and how many $million man, is going to wear this one for a while, especially in that town. It's one thing you do it in, I don't know, pick it, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay, San Diego, but when you're in New York City, when you're paid that to do that, and then that happens, and you get chased in the biggest game of the year against, well, not against the Royals, not against the Rays, not against the Twins, but against the hated Sox, you're out. Garrett Cole goes and gives up a bunch of runs early. Xander Bogaerts touches it for a home run in the first. Then Kyle Schwarber gets him. And I thought the bullpen was okay. They did their job for a while, but Garrett Cole, 2 innings. You make all that money to pitch more than 2 innings when it comes to the biggest game of the year. And then the Yankees walk 7 batters. So one of the things they tell you, when they tell you defense wins championships, part of that is pitching. And obviously, you can't walk batters in the postseason. You just can't put guys on base. Inevitably, historically, they come around to score. The best defensive play of the night was turned in by the Red Sox, and that turned the game. Red Sox move on, 6-2, Yankees are done.
This is one that, even with Garrett Cole's start, you're really frustrated if you're in New York. Because it was only a 3-0 game early. That should be nothing for this offense, but it's been feast or famine for the Yankees this season. As much power as they have, they can have games like this where they absolutely disappear. They don't get on base, not just the strikeouts, but not putting runners on. They only left 3 runners on base, only had 1 opportunity with a runner in scoring position. And the offense, which just like Garrett Cole, got a lot of dudes making a lot of money, didn't show up.
6 hits for the Yankees, 3 of them from Stanton, and the rest of the lineup got a hit. That's it. And they're done. I'll give it to Nate Eovaldi. Eovaldi pitched well, 5 1/3, gave up 1 earned run, 4 hits, struck out 8. Pitching will win in the postseason. Oh, yeah, there'll be a game where somebody scores a lot of runs off a good pitcher, but pitching wins in the postseason. That's why guys who play once every 5 games get paid $36 million a year, $329 million contracts. That's what, and it's built for now, and it didn't happen. So the Sox will move on. They will play the Tampa Bay Rays. The other American League Series will get started, and that will be the White Sox and the Houston Astros. Dodgers and Cardinals go at each other tonight. Wayne Wainwright will pitch for the Cardinals in Dodger Stadium against Max Scherzer. And again, one game. Winner goes, loser goes home. And that's where you are. And the other series will get started tomorrow, Braves and the Milwaukee Brewers. I can't tell you I'm surprised. I thought the Red Sox were going to win this game. All season long, the Red Sox were better. Down the stretch, neither one of them was very good. There wasn't a ton of momentum coming in down the stretch. I mean, how many times do we sit here and say the Red Sox can't be losing the Orioles if they want to get in the playoffs, right? But they found a way to get it done over the weekend. Yankees had a big series against Toronto, which put them in position to be here and set themselves up for this. And now all the questions are, is Aaron flipping Boone going to be there? What about Aaron Boone? We got to get him the manager. Was Billy Martin still alive? Was Billy Martin? You guys don't know who Billy Martin is? Come on, tell me you don't know who Billy Martin is? Like, I mean, you don't have to be alive.
Fired every other week.
Yeah, he's a guy at George Steinbrenner. He was a manager back when they were winning championships. And anyway. You've heard of Abraham Lincoln, though, right? Like Thomas Jefferson. Okay, they weren't alive when we were alive either. All right, just want to make sure. Look, it was like, who? Billy Martin was actually one of the greatest characters in baseball ever, was the manager of the Yankees. All right, so now what? What do they do? Is Aaron Boone around next year?
No.
So you think absolutely not, even though he
His
made the
contract
playoffs?
is up.
Well, I know his contract's up.
So I don't think they re-sign Aaron Boone. I think it's
That's
the
easy?
easiest place to start.
Who makes him better? Who's a better fit for the Yankees?
I don't have that answer for you, but this is one where
Is Alex Rodriguez going to be their next manager? No, honestly. Is Alex Rodriguez, like Aaron Boone came out of the booth?
no, I don't think they're going to do that again.
Okay. All right, it worked for a minute. I mean,
They're not a bad baseball team,
and I don't think he's a bad manager.
which is going to be interesting to see what happens because we usually don't see it get to this point with coaches anywhere.
Okay.
And so was there something that, hey, we want to see you win a playoff series? We want to see you get to a World Series? And then we'll talk contract?
To your point, contracts rarely expire. You're very rarely lame duck. You're very rarely sitting there into your last year coaching for another, or managing, in this case, for another contract. You're right. Rarely. That's why you guys get paid out an extra year. 505-246-0610. If you want to get in, can I suggest early today? We got a thick guest list on the back end of the show. 8:30 this morning. Sebastian Noel's going to be with us from ProView Networks. We're going to talk high school sports as we do on Wednesdays. 9 o'clock this morning, Peter Trevisani due to be in studio to talk about the stadium. He, the managing partner of New Mexico United. And then at 9:30 this morning, Jordan Bird, the outstanding kick returner, running back for San Diego State Aztecs, the former Manzano High School star, the offensive MVP of the 2019 New Mexico Bowl, set to be with us as the Aztecs will host New Mexico in Carson on Saturday. So Jordan getting ready to go against his guys who recruited him, and Danny Gonzalez and Rocky Long, against the team he grew up watching and his hometown team. And by the way, San Diego State's ranked 25th in the country. So looking forward to catching up with Jordan Bird at 9:30. So if you want to get in, now would be the time at 505-246-0610. Come on in. Other stuff we'll get into is the NFL. Jalen Smith been cut by the Cowboys. News this morning, Stephon Gilmore being released by the New England Patriots. So a couple of big names on the defensive side of the ball that are now out there in New England. I mean, they couldn't come to terms with Stephon Gilmore. Talks have stalled. He's been on the PUP list. You got two guys who were Pro Bowlers. I think could still make a difference for teams probably that are going to be really good, that are going to go out and find guys relatively cheap to help them on defense. I think Tampa Bay. I think Kansas City. I think teams that are needing help on defense. Those are places the first places that jump out to me.
Absolutely, because what you say is they clear waivers, and then you don't have to pick up the remaining number that's left on the contract. And I know the thing with Stephon Gilmore in New England is he wanted to get paid again. But this is the opportunity for him to latch on with another good team, play out the season, then get his contract. And for Jalen Smith, it just became odd man out. And that's one of those things. They thought they really liked him. They found one, and Jim and him, they paid him, and now he's not in the lineup.
And now, nor is he in the locker room, nor is he on the roster, and hence, he's going to get paid on the way out. But so it's 7 point whatever it is now, but that means they're not locked into the 9 point whatever the number is going forward next year. So two good players that are out there. We're going to get more into Urban Meyer because, well, it's everybody's favorite story. I know you guys love the story, so he may not make it through the month. let alone like the next couple weeks. Shad Khan kind of changed the tune, and then there was the whispers yesterday afternoon. They were trying to figure out how to fire him. And how to fire him, you call him up to the office and say you're fired. I mean, you watch Ted Lasso? Like, it's easy, right?
Fired.
I think that's how you do it.
Unless you're trying to figure out if there's a cause so they don't have to pay him.
I think that might be. And that's exactly where this is going. I'm just telling you, the way this is blown up in the last couple of days, because it's such a, what's the word? Silly, stupid. Is it a sexy story? I don't know if that is. But because it's him and because he's so easy to not like, and so everybody's piled on this thing, right?
Not the first time.
Yeah. No, I
already a track record
100%.
in Jacksonville. And this is, and yeah, there's an element to it. Well, if they're 4-0, they wouldn't be here. Well, he's not. And no one thought he was going to be. Like, we all saw this. Well, the majority of people.
By the way, that statement's still correct, but you're right.
Saw this ending badly.
Yeah.
And even if he was 4-0, he did something that no other coach does. Like, just looking at even beat reporters who know teams and what teams do, everyone's like, I don't know if there's ever been a time I've seen a coach not fly back with his team after a game and stay back and hang out at his own bar. Like, you see players get a day or so.
Well, I struggle with that a little bit. On the Thursday night game, I guess I don't have a problem with the coach staying back. I see players.
Like, you're the 0-4 guy and no one else does it?
Well, all right, so to your point on players, you almost always see a player who played on Thursday night on the sideline of his college game on Saturday, right? Saquon Barkley played Thursday night a couple of weeks ago when he was on the set of game day doing the picks. So why can't a coach go do something on that weekend, that off weekend? Is it because he's 0-4? Is
it would have been no problem had
he not got caught in a bar getting a lap dance by some chick? Yeah, no, I get that. But why can't he go like and he owns the bar, and by the way, that's where he spent 9 years, and he's like they're right there in I guess I'm not there. I'm not. Oh my gosh, she's got to be on the plane. And the players get to go do what they want. Why can't a coach?
Okay.
I mean, what's the answer?
I find getting no respect from any of those players in the locker room, which is what has happened.
No, because of the way it happened. 100%. Again, to me, there's
if you want to, and this is one thing too. Like, I get it. Like, there's a ton of people like whatever. The dude's having a drink.
No. That's not. I'm not on the whatever
saying it's
thing.
you, but there's like, you have responsibilities, man. Like, you're an NFL coach. There's just things you can't be doing anymore.
Yeah.
This is one of them.
I guess, but when it gets to he should have been on the plane and he's got to go back, and I don't know.
Well, especially when everyone is saying they do not recall ever seeing another coach.
Right,
you're not that guy.
So. And he's not that.
Urban Meyer.
100%.
Like, he can't be that guy.
No, 100% he's not that guy. But my point is the guys are going to go back to Tampa and they're going to scatter on Friday morning, right? Because they're going to get the 3 days off and they're all going to scatter. He's going to scatter up to Ohio. They're already there. I don't have a problem with that part of it. I don't. That he didn't fly back with the team. He instead of going, like, he spent a few days at his bar and whatever. That I don't have a problem with. Obviously, where this thing ended up, there's an issue. 505-246-0610. Again, 8:30 this morning, Sebastian Noel. 9 o'clock, Peter Trevisani. We'll talk about the stadium and the bond issue that is on your ballot, which I think absentee ballots are now out. And 9:30, Jordan Bird from San Diego State, the former Manzano High School star, is going to be with us as the Aztecs and the Lobos play each other on Saturday in Southern California. Who's watching your home? I've told you about IPS, International Protective Service, for a long time now. I've trusted them to watch my home. I suggest you do as well. Your home, your business, it gives you peace of mind. It keeps the bad guys away. You know how passionate Aaron Jones and his company is about providing security for your home and your business. And up until relatively recently, IPS uses their highly trained armed guards and their 24-hour patrols to respond to alarms, typically within 7 minutes or less. Now IPS installs alarm systems. So IPS can put an alarm system in your home, and if it goes off, they'll respond. They got your security covered. You don't need to call anyone else. The phone number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. You can visit them online at ipsglobal.com. If you trust IPS, what you get is a local company, not a business who's going to sell your security to a national corporate giant who doesn't know Albuquerque like IPS does. Look, they'll still respond to any alarm system. So if you've got one, you can work with them. They'll still be like I do. But if you don't have an alarm system, call IPS. They'll set you up for unmatched security. Don't wait to be a victim. Sleep better at night knowing IPS is watching your business, and be confident during the day they got eyes on your home while you're not there. IPS, 505-897-2420, or visit them online at ipsglobal.com. International Protective Service dedicated to making Albuquerque a better and safer place to live and work.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
Hi, my name is Adrian Chavez Sr., proud owner, operator of Lobo Protective Services. We are also a proud member of ProView Networks, as well as so excited that New Mexico Youth Sports is back. In order to join our team, please join us at www.loboprotectiveservices.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Yankees are done. Dodgers and Cardinals go at it today. A one-and-done scenario for those two traditional powerhouse franchises, and then you're full blown into your Major League Baseball playoffs. If you want to get into Urban, you can. I see no scenario where this ends well for him, and there's part of me that feels bad for Shad Khan, but part of me doesn't. The owner, he tried to make a splash hire. I thought it was a reach. I did. I thought it was going to work. I did, because he's been successful everywhere else. To your point on getting on the plane, look, I understand how he doesn't have any respect in the locker room, and you're right when it comes down to good luck getting respect. The guys were laughing at him before. He had no respect in the locker room beforehand from everything that's coming out of there. Now, first of all, on that, I don't know who those guys think they are to begin with. They're an 0-4 football team that's lost 19 in a row, right? So I don't know where they come off thinking they're any better than Urban Meyer. But Urban Meyer obviously has been doing everything since he got there to stumble all over himself, from the Tebow thing to his strength coach to now this, and whatever happens on a day-to-day basis. So there's more than one truth here, okay? You got a bunch of players, though, at some point need to look in the mirror and check themselves and realize he's not the only reason we're 0-4. And he wasn't here when
they're not a good football team.
And he wasn't here when we lost 15 in a row. So they're not a good football team. I don't know how he's going to get that locker room back. I mean, there may be one or two that are going, "Atta boy, look at Coach getting his freak on," whatever. Okay. But I don't see how he gets through this. And I don't know how Shad Khan's going to figure this thing out. And where do they go? I mean, do you just mail in the season? Do you just give it to somebody on your staff? I mean, there's a lot. Charlie Strong's on that staff. Another college coach. Do you just go down the staff? Do you mail in the year? Because this thing not only can get out of hand really quickly, I think it is.
Yes, and this is one that it highlights the hypocrisy we see happen in sports. And there's so many players in this league, guys that have done worse that have jobs, because we know talent matters. But in this case, it isn't just one incident for Urban Meyer. It's a track record. Pretty much everywhere he's been, the two biggest places he's been, Florida and Ohio State, and then everything you just laid out in Jacksonville. And to not fly back with the team, I get it for a lot of people. They're like, whatever, he's back home. But no one has ever done that. Like,
okay.
Like, and to your point, like, you want to check yourself and be like, who are you? Well, go back to work, man.
Yeah.
Like, if no one else is doing, no one else.
Does every coach just grind? Is that what they're doing? And I hear that. Well, he should spend the extra 3 days grinding over tape.
But how can you be the only dude that doesn't fly back?
Yeah, and I don't know if that's right. A couple of writers have said
heard.
we've never seen that before. I mean, I don't know. Did Elias say that? I mean, you're right. It's not common practice. If this was Belichick, how would we respond?
Well, I guess there wouldn't be a response, but guess what?
No, there would be. There would be. It would be. Come on, old man. What are you doing? Like, right? But he wins, and so he gets. You're right.
But he doesn't do it.
No,
it's not that he just
I
wins.
understand. I'm not making okay. The only place I'm pushing back on you is I don't care that he didn't fly back and then get on another flight for a couple days like all the rest of the players are. Like how many honestly, how many of the Jacksonville players do you think were in Jacksonville this last weekend during their bye week?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm gonna guess they'll take a couple days and went somewhere. And he was there, and he has a bar, and he's got people there, and that's whatever. Now, what he did is a whole other story, and that's why we're having a conversation. I guess that piece of the puzzle, that one, doesn't bother me. It just doesn't. Now, you could talk about Tebow, and you could talk about the strength coach and all this other stuff. Yeah, I listen to that. He stayed back a couple days because he's got businesses and family there.
Okay, but it's not just, everyone's going to get you caught. Then where are these other coaches?
Yeah.
In the bars, hanging out.
No, again, and that's not what I'm saying.
Like, you do have a different responsibility.
Do you think Sean McVay never goes to a bar?
Well, I'm sure he does, but guess what? Even if he was there, we don't see pictures of him there.
And therein lies the difference.
Like, that stuff happening.
Again, I don't have a problem with a coach going to a bar. And he owns the bar.
I'm sure they do, but we don't see this after Thursday night games with all these NFL coaches. And it's just a track record, and I get it.
Ever before. We've never seen this before.
And this is, and I get it, there's a lot to this because we overlook things, and not just we, the collective, as teams, second chances, etc. But this was so bad from the start, and to just be here, and it's not just not flying back, but then he has to cancel team meetings on Monday to go on his apology tour. He's not addressing it with his team. Like,
here's the bottom line: he's a huge distraction. Yeah. He is a negative, not a positive for that football club. That's the bottom line, because Have you mentioned Trevor Lawrence once, or James Robinson's nice outing on Thursday night, or the way the defense played, or they were up 14-0, or no, he's a distraction, and that's all you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and remember when people were like, well, we're bringing in Urban Meyer, so the spotlight's not on Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, well.
Well, you have a number one overall pick regardless. The spotlight's
that's right.
going to be on him, and you're like, well, now we need Urban Meyer. No, you need a football dude to build a football team, and that guy ain't it.
Well, at least the spotlight's not on Trevor Lawrence. Hello, Tommy. The spotlight's not on the Yankees anymore either. What's up?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, let me put on my timer. I forgot your timing. Everybody only could be on a minute now, right? Let me put it on real quick. Just joking.
You got to take. Let's go.
Well, if people would just jump into your damn takes instead of giving me a weather report, then we wouldn't have to do that.
I know. I'm kidding. It's fine. The thing with the Yankees, and I called Vital the afternoon show. He was running it, and I was even telling him, I don't think we should start Cole. And he agreed. He goes, but they're going to start him because he's their stud. But he didn't look good at the end of the season. And I thought they should start someone else and let him sit out and get ready if they made it past Boston. But in baseball, I'll make 2 points. I go by the 3-5 rule. I go by the 20-30 rule in football. Give up 20 or less points, score 30 or more. 3-5, if your pitcher gives up 3 or less a game, you should win the game. If you score 5 or more, you should win the game on the offense. And they didn't do either or. And to me, it's deeper than just saying, I want to fire Boone. I've been calling for that all year. I think they really got to start looking at Cashman. And he's been there 10 years. Usually a decade is about the time you start looking at a different GM, the way he's building that team up. Yankee fans for years have been screaming, let's get more hitters that can hit to the other side, the short porch. It's important to have hitters that hit to each side.
Yeah.
But let's get more that will hit to that side as well, because you barely hit a fly ball. That thing's going to go out over there. So I think they really, honestly, I remember Theo Epstein back in the day, great for Boston, got them 2 World Series, then he was gone, went to the Cubs, got them a World Series. I know you know who Epstein is.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a shelf life for a GM, and they really got to start looking at him now and see how he's putting the team together. Do I think they're a fire Boone? No, I don't think they're going to fire him, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked if they did. I think
it's not even firing at this point. It's not renewing his contract, right? I guess that's firing technically. Yeah.
Right. But I think they should start looking really at Cashman and how he's putting the team together. And again, it's a shelf life for GMs.
Yeah.
And now I'll just say, hey, go underdogs. For ratings, I'd love to see the Dodgers in there against, the Red Sox will probably be the best for ratings. But let's see what, some underdogs who come up. I still think the Rays are going to win the whole thing. And as far as Urban Meyer, that's another time. Talk about that.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right, guys, have fun. Have fun today. Bye.
Later. I think the Rays are the most healthy, most complete. I mean, the Rays are good, and I look at the Giants and Brewers rosters too, and I think they're really good too. But the Rays are good. All right, we're going back to phones. We got a Hall of Famer in waiting when we get back. 505-246-0610.
Crushed leg day yesterday. It was lower body workout, F45 training. And that's what I love. It's something different every day with the classes. The programs switch up every few weeks, so they're continuing to push you forward. You're challenging yourself. That's why they call it full body functional fitness. High intensity interval training. It was 4 sets, 3 different workouts at each pod. Got out. Legs are sore, feeling it the day after, but that's what you got to do. You got to hit leg day strong. You can do that at F45 training. The variety of training you're going to do in full body functional fitness is great, but they don't forget certain aspects, whether it is strength training, the cardio workouts to make sure that you're burning extra calories. They got you covered at F45 training. So check them out now, F45training.com. Download the F45 app. You can check out everything they got going on at the Northeast Heights location, the scheduled classes. They have classes available 7 days a week. You can sign up for your 7-day free trial on the app, book your class, get in, and get going. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done. From laptop, I was able to nail down the bike I wanted, add a few customizations, and get an estimate on my trade-in.
Dream style tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done. From the laptop, I was able to nail down the bike I wanted, add a few customizations, and get an estimate on my trade-in.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you
Wild card, one game. It's just so abrupt. It's so cruel. It's so, I mean, it is what it is. It's the reality of it. I'm not a big fan of playing 162 in one game. 2 out of 3, but I understand it, and that's what it is, and everybody knows going in. So that's what you got. But one game. Who you got tonight? Dodgers or Cardinals?
Max Scherzer.
All right. I hope you're right. I really, really do. I mean, like, I really do. All right, 505-246-0610. Hello, Edward.
Well, good morning, gentlemen and lady. I almost requested some Sweet Caroline from Neil Diamond this morning. I'm very happy for the Red Sox win, but you know what it means? They're going to be the sacrificial lambs of that Tampa Bay organization, and they're going to get slaughtered. I hope not, but Tampa Bay is stellarly good. Regarding Urban, and by the way, Yankees fans, don't worry. You'll probably pick up Mike Trout and Mookie Betts, and then maybe they can bring in who's the guy with the nice hair that plays for the Nationals or the Phillies? Hits all those home runs.
Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper. Yeah. And then maybe they can get that guy from the Angels.
Yeah, they get them all.
Hit 47.
Otani
I think
and
they can sign all of them.
Yeah, they can fit them all. I mean, there's no cap. We got money.
No, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Hey, regarding Urban Meyer, briefly, Jeff, you and I, and other and even JJ's generation, we grew up in an environment where there was decorum. There was social decorum, and people held themselves to certain standards.
Or at least we thought there was, because there was no cell phones.
Agreed. You're right. Nothing was documented.
Yeah.
We've lost all decorum. We've lost decorum in society. We've lost decorum with the presidency over the last couple of years. We've lost decorum just across the board, corporate America. And so you just have to kind of take a step back and say, okay, well, here's what we're dealing with, and make a judgment on the data that's presented in front of you. So I'm a body of work guy, and the body of work isn't stellar for Urban off the football field. So whatever, right? I mean, I don't know.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, not only not good. Like to JJ's point, and Edward, you're not wrong. Look, the stuff that went down at Florida was bad. The stuff that went down at Ohio State was a different bad, but really, really bad. And now, has he done anything right? Anything, honestly. It feels like he's done everything wrong in Jacksonville.
Yep.
So
agreed. At the beginning of the NFL season, 15 of 32 teams had a new starting quarterback. We're 4 weeks in, and 3 more teams, 18 of 32 teams. I don't know the quick fraction there, because Chicago moved to another quarterback, the Niners moved to another quarterback for injury, 60%. And Miami's moved to another quarterback. Yeah, 18 of 32.
Yeah, it's like 60%.
There you go. Very well done. The reason I focus on the Crusher 8 is the top quarterbacks, in my opinion, in the league, week to week, and it's a moving target. It evolves. Is because if you don't have the quarterback nailed down, you have no shot. You have no shot in the NFL, and it's an obvious statement, right? My Crusher 8 this week, and by the way, the 5-star picks might be unleashed on Friday, because I let things percolate and coagulate. Rodgers is on the Scorched Earth tour. He's number 1, and I think he's going to have something to say in the NFC title game at the end of the year. Mahomes, is number 2. When you change the way defenses are called, by the way, in 4 games, they have 1 3-and-out, and they've punted 6 times for the year. Mahomes is still magical. I think Herbert is number 3. I think this guy is a next-level QB, and if it wasn't for a brain lapse against the Cowboys, they'd be undefeated, but that happens. But that guy is an amazing talent. The Dak Knight, I stole that from Nick Wright, by the way.
Good.
I think Dak's number 4, and he's having a great season. Murray, who is indefensible once you roll the pocket out. The guy's indefensible, and he's Mahomes minus about 8 inches of height. That guy's incredible, and I think he's going to leap up. So, and then the greatest ever is number 6. He hasn't played well the last couple of weeks. I think Josh Allen, who has a make-or-break game Sunday night in Kansas City. Not make-or-break, but a telltale game.
Okay.
And then I think Carr took a hit Sunday night, and Lamar Jackson round out my top 8. So it's a dynamic list, and I think it's interesting how this will play out. Just briefly on officiating, Jeff, I think we've reached a point, and you elaborated on it yesterday, there's too much information to process.
100%.
That's why they're missing obvious calls. We've reached a point in the NFL where they can't have one guy in New York in the replays. They have to have somebody on site reviewing every play real time, and they should have the ability to stop the game.
Like they do at college games. And I don't know why they don't do that. Why this goes to, why can you see it better in New York than you can sitting in the stadium in a booth? You got DV Sports and maybe I don't know. There's got to be room in all these booths, like in these press boxes. I don't understand. Not that it makes a difference. I mean, guys could be trained the same way. I've never understood why it's in New York and not on site.
You're right, and they have one guy kind of being the oracle out there trying to make decisions. The game is sped up. The athletes are better. They do things we've never seen. you have to be able to slow things down mentally and cognitively and make the right decision. So I think the NFL has reached a tipping point where they need an on-site replay official that just observes the game and can stop the game at his will and make the right call.
Agreed.
So thank you for my time, and I hope you guys have a delightful day.
Appreciate you. Good call. Thank you. So why is it hockey does it the same way, right? You go back to New York. Why college football has replay officials on site? DV Sports sets you up. They got their booth. They're in communication with the truck. They ask for this angle. Okay, wait, go back to the other angle. Slow it down. Like, they're on site. I guess it's just as fast in New York. I just never understood why wouldn't you have a guy on site and as opposed to one person in New York doing all of these things? And it's probably more than one. I'm going to guess there's 2 or 3 people in that New York control center. But do you know why that is?
No.
No, I don't know.
And it would seem like at the NFL level, you would have one person dedicated for each game.
It would seem that way. Yeah. I've never understood that. But I do think that we've gotten to the point in the NFL where there are so many things to look at, right? And you add new rules every year, and you don't add more officials. But you add, you can't hit a quarterback here. You can't touch a guy. You can't, everything we're looking at. And then there are points of emphasis, and now I got to worry about, did the guy stand over, and what did he say, and enough. That's why I think the officiating, and it's so hard to officiate. Do you agree with me that we've gotten to a point on every play you kind of look for a flag because the receiver does? Like every play that you throw downfield, right? So on third down, just throw downfield, throw over the middle, pick your route, and you're got a really good chance of getting a flag. I think it frustrates everybody. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails are coming in, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. That's where you can find us. A. Maurice producing on the radio side. Adrian is producing on the TV side. You can watch us on ProView Network's YouTube page, on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM, or you can watch us over the air on channel 20.5 on the New Mexico Sports Network. It's the opening drive, 8:30 this morning. Sebastian Noel will be with us. 9 o'clock, Peter Trevisani to talk about the stadium bond issue. And then at 9:30 this morning, former Manzano star and San Diego State's Jordan Bird, as the Lobos and Aztecs get set to go on Saturday in Carson. Glad you're with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. for life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, my name is Adrian Chavez Sr., proud owner, operator of Lobo Protective Services. We are also a proud member of ProView Networks, as well as so excited that New Mexico Youth Sports is back. In order to join our team, please join us at www.loboprotectiveservices.com.
You trusted your home or business security to a company with an armed response. They sold out to a national corporate giant, and you're stuck on the brink of less security. I'm Aaron Jones, owner of International Protective Service. IPS isn't for sale. I'm invested here, and I care about your home and business as if it's my own. Let the highly trained armed guards or 24-hour patrols of IPS protect what's yours. With faster response times to catch criminals and less associated costs. Call 897-2420 or go to ipsglobal.com.
When looking for the best experience while buying an all-new Kia, Fiesta Kia offers some of the most knowledgeable and friendly Kia specialists in New Mexico. They'll help you find the Kia that will meet all your expectations. Kias have some of the most affordable vehicles for you to choose from, offering extensive options and style for the price. And with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, Kia won't be beat. Come be a part of the Fiesta family today, 7400 Lomas Boulevard Northeast, or start driving now at fiestakia.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Loading up your guest list for tomorrow, too. Not only is Jerry Palm going to be with us tomorrow, but the all-time leading rusher in the history of the University of New Mexico football program will be with us. Dontrell Moore going to be with us. I gave him the option 7:30 or 9. He took 9. So that's what I figured. He says, no, I'm up every day. I just wanted to have some time to work out, get my day started first. Of course. No, totally understand. Have you checked out Dontrell?
He's still got 20 carries in him again.
Like he's got to be about 40? Like, just doing the math, right? He played, yeah, it's about right. And he still could go give you 20 carries tomorrow. Yeah, and by the way, he's a great golfer. He's as good an athlete as
he's a
as I've ever
ridiculous
met.
athlete.
Yeah. I mean, all around unbelievable athlete. And by the way, as good a dude, if not better. Like, it's great dude. So Dontrell Moore is going to be with us tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Your guest list today, again, 8:30, we'll talk high school stuff with Sebastian Noel. 9 o'clock, Peter Trevisani, the principal owner, managing partner for New Mexico United, will be in studio to talk about the stadium bond issue. And then 9:30, Jordan Bird, the former Manzano High School star and standout at San Diego State as the Aztecs and Lobos get set to play on Saturday. Jordan Bird's going to be with us. Lenny, good morning. Thanks for holding. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Good day, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
So, I heard the call earlier, Edward, with the calling. So the Raiders call for the stepping out of bounds, terrible call. But then, don't you think the Charger call for face mask that didn't take place was just a makeup call?
I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't watch the game as closely. I was not at home, so I was kind of watching it peripherally, so I don't know. I'm not even going to pretend.
Yeah, I mean, it was a terrible call for both. But at the end of the day, except for the Cowboy game, the Chargers should be 8-0 in the past 8 games.
But they're not.
They're not, but they're still 7-1 and in first place, which you wouldn't have expected. But they're spreading the ball out. They're going to all of their receivers, and the defense looks good. And I like the coach that takes chances on fourth downs.
Yeah, I think the players like that too. They really like that.
So, we'll just see what happens. I think they can beat Cleveland next weekend. Because I think Baker Mayfield still talks a better game than he is a quarterback.
Did you see his Halloween commercial, by the way?
I love his
I can't watch any of his commercials. Whenever I hear his voice, I just have to turn the mute button on for those commercials.
He's so funny.
He is good. He is good.
His commercials are good.
Yeah.
And his D-line is better.
Then I guess he has a stand-up career when his passing career fades.
Don't act like it's that easy,
if
Lenny.
someone writes his stuff.
So now let's get into real quick. NBA's coming up, and you have the nutcase Kyrie Irving. Wiggins already got his shot, so he can play. Now you have the Nets. His family asked the Nets to move their practice to New Jersey so he could practice with the team.
Yes, they did. They did.
Like, he's giving up $380,000 a game for his refusal just to get one shot to come and play. Do you know why his belief is against the shot?
Why?
Because there's a Facebook group out there that says the shot is to control you through Satan. And I'm not making this crap up.
Okay.
So that's one of his reasons to not get the shot. So you're going to ruin your season for your team just to get one shot.
No, two. Right?
No,
maybe in a booster.
No, all you need for San Francisco, New York is one shot and you can play, because Wiggins just got his one shot when his religious reasons was turned down. So now he can play for Golden State. And New York's the same way. You just need the one shot, and then you can play. You don't have to get both. So he's refusing to do that and hurt his team. So this is when the Nets made the mistake of not trading him and keeping Spencer Dinwiddie.
Well, it is like it'd be nice to be in a position to walk away from $380,000 a game and make your own decision. I'm not going to sit here and tell people what to do.
I'm not telling them what to do, but I'm saying is you're hurting your team.
No, that's right.
I
You
know
are.
what to do, but the Nets have to then decide:
What are
do
they
we
gonna do?
keep him and hope that it's the mayor's going to lift this in January or February, or do we look to just trade him and move on and cut bait?
Yeah, and they are going to have decisions to make. Yes, everybody
And
involved.
then the same thing with Ben Simmons. He's seeing those clients coming in, and those game checks are going to disappear. And he lost at $8.5 million so far. He will be back in Philly.
That's why Deshaun Watson went to work. I mean, right? No, honestly, that's why he went to work. He knew he wasn't going to play, but that's why he went to work.
Right. Yeah. And then let him just come in, and then they could work a trade out. Now, is he going to do something like James Harden, where he's going to throw the team under the bus at a press conference and come in with a dad bod? No, he's not going to do that. But what has he done to improve himself from last season to show he's not a head case? No, it's funny. You look at Harden last year when he came. How did they look like at Houston? Everyone was making fun of his dad bod.
Yeah, but he
It's
balled.
the COVID, man.
But he
COVID-15.
But he
was still able to show what he can do.
Yeah, he came in and balled. No matter, I don't care what his belly looked like.
No, I didn't care. Harden can still, with that body, is a top 5 player.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the start for your Chargers and a win for your Jets. Like, what a weekend for you, huh?
And the Giants. That has not happened, I think, in like 10 years.
Yeah, probably maybe
all
ever.
won on the same weekend.
Yeah, it might be ever. All right.
But the Yankees lost.
But the Yankees did lose. Yeah. All right. So at some point it evens out.
Thank you, Garrett Cole, Kershaw. So good pitching.
Garrett Kershaw. See you, Lenny. Be well. Garrett Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw not on the postseason roster. Max Muncy not on the. Like this Dodger team, basically Bellinger isn't Bellinger. No Muncy, no Kershaw. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie, Adrian, and you on 95.9 FM and AM 610 the Sports Animal.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
Hi, my name is Adrian Chavez Sr., proud owner, operator of Global Protective Services. We are also a proud member of ProView Networks, as well as so excited that New Mexico Youth Sports is back. In order to join our team, please join us at www.loboprotectiveservices.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done. From laptop, I was able to nail down the bike I wanted, add a few customizations, and get an estimate on my trade-in.
Dream style roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds.
International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to
Well, baseball will continue, just not in New York City. I've been to New York City, feels like it was yesterday. That's a whole other song. Yankees lose 6-2 in Boston. The Red Sox were just better. They got better pitching. They got better defense. They got clutch hitting. The Red Sox were just better. Big play at the plate. Aaron Judge thrown out at the plate. Beautiful throw. Two beautiful throws. Red Sox move on. Yankees are done. How you feeling? It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, A. Marie. So New York is a funny town when it comes to everything, okay? When it comes to sports, so it feels like everybody's a Yankee fan, except for kind of when the Mets are pretending that they're going to do something, and it's amazing how many Mets fans, especially if you go out on the island, right? The island tends to be more Mets.
Mets, Jets, Islanders. And
on
then
the island. Certainly Islanders.
So that's why it's funny to me. I think it's broken up into two things. Mets, Jets, Islanders, and then Rangers, Giants, Yankees.
Yes.
That's the primary sports fan in New York.
Yeah. So the Rangers, all the long-standing clubs, the Rangers, the Giants and Yankees used to play in old Yankee Stadium together. The Jets and the Mets used to play in old Shea Stadium together. And then everybody loved the Knicks, and nobody really was a Nets fan. But now that the Nets are good, I'm sure Brooklyn's gone crazy over having a team in their borough. The Islanders have always played out on the island, so
They played in Brooklyn. Now they're moving back, I think.
Well, they moved back to the old arena last year,
yeah.
and they closed down the old place in Uniondale and the old Nassau County Coliseum out there, and they're building them a new place. Yeah, they moved to the Barclays Center for 2 years?
Yeah.
And it just didn't really work for them. My point is, it's a funny town as far as, but if you were going to ask me which one team resonates throughout New York City, I'd probably tell you the Knicks first and then the Yankees.
I would say that too.
Yeah.
And then the Rangers.
And it's a big hockey town, yeah.
Big.
The Knicks, they for whatever reason, and this is the whole Stephen A. Smith thing when the Knicks won their one game and he was yelling and going crazy, and then the Yankees. And there's this, because it's the biggest media market and the most populous city in our country, there's this feeling that New York's got to be good. It's got to be good. And every time they're not, I don't see sports dying. Their football teams have not been good for how long, and the NFL has kind of thrived. See, sports will thrive. There was a very long period here where New York teams weren't good and there weren't teams in LA at all. And the NFL was still the most popular game in our country, correct?
Right.
Yeah. Entertain me. Package your product well. And I will buy it, says the consumer of sports. It doesn't have to be in New York. Now, if you've got a passion, you always like your team. And if you live in that city, and it's always good to have your biggest population bases passionate and thriving and screaming. And by the way, how about the crowd and the atmosphere last night for that playoff game, right? But do you think I'm wrong? Package it well. Give me a good entertainment. Give me good product, and they will come.
I think it's the weirdest thing when television ratings come up in sports conversation.
Because anybody cares.
So odd to me.
Yeah.
This is good. Who cares what the ratings are for ESPN? I'm watching
I
sports.
kind of do peripherally because I work for the company, but for
but
you don't care.
Why are we
don't
talking?
care.
Why does that come up so much?
I know.
Even here,
I know.
It's the weirdest thing. To me.
I will tell you why. Because it's the attendance piece. So what is the one barometer? What is the one metric that the local media here, when they judge a United match, a New Mexico Bowl, a Lobo football game, a Lobo basketball game, what's the only metric? There's only one that the local media just focuses on whether the game was a success or not.
Attendance?
The only one. And I tell you all the time, there are a lot more metrics than just attendance. Now, it is important. It is important for whoever's work, for me to fill stands, for Peter to fill the stands, but for instance, in New Mexico Bowl, there's so many more metrics. How did we treat the student athletes? How did our city benefit from the people coming in? How were the TV ratings? That's a metric as well. And it goes to this. That's the only metric your basic fan has to say, well, is it successful? Oh, well, man, the ratings have gone down. Yeah, they're still really high. Well, yeah, but people flocking away. People don't really understand them. They see the numbers on the surface, JJ. But that's why. It's that same concept of, well, that's the only way I can judge the success of that event from the outside, and it's the most obvious and the most front-facing. And so I understand it. It bothers me, obviously, because there's so much more to it. But that's why. Does that make sense?
Yes, but it's always been so weird to me.
Yeah.
That people like to bring it up in arguments or like say, boom, this is why this sucks because of the rating. Like, you don't really have any idea of how this all works, and it's not rating every single person that's actually watching it. It's so confusing.
Yeah, like to say nobody cares because there were 13,000 or 15,000 or 18,000 at the Lobo game, whatever the number was. Well, people care because they're all talking about it. They watched it. They watch almost every game that's on TV. Now, they didn't go out, and yeah, that's a problem, and it's part of the metrics. It's part of the evaluation. But it's not the only one, and I would even argue it might not even be the most important one. JT, good morning. How you doing?
What's going on?
How are you?
Oh, I'm nervous, Jeff. I'm nervous.
Yeah, I am too, man. I got a weird feel.
The anxiety is building up. Next to March Madness, playoff baseball is like, it's like amazing to me because every pitch, everything is analyzed. We're like on the edge of our seats for it's crazy. So I hate the Yankees and the Red Sox, so I love when Tampa Bay just thrashes both of them. So anyway, but that was a great, it was a great game. He shouldn't have sent, Judge home. Yeah. That's the problem. If he would have sent Judge would have held up at third,
Yeah, you got second and third and one out.
But I just wanted it to be like, 15 innings, but Red Sox dispose of them right away. Now let's get to the real team in this whole thing, the Dodgers.
Go.
Nobody will ever convince me that this is a good thing. The one game, I will never.
Even if they win, I'm with you.
Even if the Giants, this is coming from a lifelong Dodger. If the Giants were in this situation, it shouldn't be a one game. Why don't we just shave off 3 games from the season and then just let them play a little double elimination, a 3 game? I'll never like it, but it is what it is.
Deal with it.
Yeah, we would get the hottest team in baseball, right? The Cardinals.
That's how it worked. Yep.
Without Muncy, without Kershaw, so somebody's going to have to step up, Jeff. It's just going to be, a nail biter. I'll be at the edge of my seat and,
JT,
yelling and screaming like an idiot. But
JT,
this is playoff baseball, so
JT,
here we go.
Explain to A-Marie
you guys
where.
Have a great day.
All right, later. He's a trucker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's in his truck. He calls from around the state. He's in his truck.
He sounds in a busy place.
I know, poor Dodgers.
No Max Muncy, no Clayton Kershaw.
Oh my gosh, they're only gonna have Trey Turner,
Bellinger,
and Mookie Betts, and Justin Turner.
Yeah, Corey Seager,
and Taylor in the lineup. I don't know how they're gonna survive.
Mookie Betts. Yeah, you said Mookie Betts. Yeah.
See all these tears that are streaming down my face.
No, I do. It's good that you empathize with him. I think that's nice. It's now you're starting to understand what it's like to be a Dodger fan.
So hard.
I mean, when yeah.
Trade for our game 1 starting pitcher and a top 5 shortstop at the trade deadline.
That's right.
Because why not?
And gave up what?
Players we're never going to hear of again.
I promise. That's right. Yeah, and that I'm just telling you the history with the Cardinals. Dodger fan is nervous. Dodger fan is quite nervous because the history with this club is not favorable for Los Angeles. Now, you never
would you play
best
2 of 3, but start on Monday?
So
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
and not have the day off, but you have to schedule the day off because if
say, hey, here's the thing, you get that top wild card spot, you're at home for 3 games, so you try to put some emphasis on. Well, you got to get win somewhere if you want the opportunity to not just have a one-game situation. Okay,
Yeah,
but you get to
I think
be at home for 3 games.
Well, yeah. If look, you're playing one, so you're not at home anyway. So when you take your chances, just go 2 out of 3.
But you're not cutting games off the season because even
right. Here's the
because even the worst teams like Baltimore and Arizona, if they have a home series that weekend, they're like, we're still making money.
So here's the reason they're doing this. They don't want teams sitting around for a week. And so I understand it, right? Because if that was the case, the Giants, Tampa would have to sit around for a week. You got Monday, the season is Sunday. You take Monday off. If you're playing best 2 out of 3, you're scheduling Tuesday, Wednesday, travel Thursday, play Friday.
Play Monday.
Okay, so you play Monday. Let's just say you play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the wild card team would say, well, I'm at a disadvantage. Well, yeah, that's why you're the wild card team. So play Monday. You go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, take Thursday off and start on Friday. And so the Rays, the Giants have 4 days off. Yeah, I don't hate that. And so it would be 3 games at Dodger Stadium, 2 out of 3 series. Cardinals wouldn't get to play at home. I don't hate that. So that would have been like the Yankees in Boston for 3. You don't like that?
No, I just like that you don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's imperfect because you're not going back and forth. And I understand why. So I think your solution isn't bad because the reason they're doing this 1 game thing is they don't want these teams getting penalized for being the 1 seed and sitting at home for a week and a half. A week and a half's wrong. 5, 6, 7 days before they get to play. So I understand. And the other thing is weather. Also, because now we're in October, like it was 60 degrees last night. We're going to hit 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now, and you're going to be playing games.
You got to start
not New York, but
I was going to say the weather's weird in New York in October.
But you might be in Chicago. You might be in Boston.
Yeah, East Coast is.
Yeah.
You got to. What Major League Baseball has to start doing more summer doubleheaders on the weekend to shorten.
Boys of summer.
So this has been my solution for a long time. Okay. This has been my solution for a long, long time. You can play double headers almost once a week and expand the rosters.
Yeah.
You can play them on Sundays, and if you want to double gate, you can go day night. Or more so, play them on Saturdays.
The best.
So you can still do Sunday getaway days. Play Saturday day night double headers. You clear the park. You still get 2 gates, right? So you're not losing a gate. And let's say if you do 5 of those a year, you back the whole schedule up a week. And you're saying, Jeff, what's 1 week? Well, when we're starting to think of the difference what the weather was like a week ago to what it was now, right? Highs are going to be 70 now. A week ago, before we got that rain, it was like 90. And that's what you're dealing with. If you're playing games in Minnesota, if you're playing games in Detroit, Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, it is an issue. And that's one of those things. How long have I been preaching that one?
It makes sense. Then you could start thinking about, hey, we have enough time. Could we make this a best 2 out of 3 in the wild card round without a disadvantage? And I know we talk so much about rest in sports. And when are you going to get your rest? Well, it's also one that we've seen that teams that are off too long are at a disadvantage because of the momentum coming in. So it's a tough balance.
And that's why they've settled here.
So that's why they've settled on the 1 game wild card situation. But there's ways to make it work for Major League Baseball.
Because as much as I don't like the 2 wild cards, it has made it more interesting for more teams. Like this would have been, the National League season would have been over, like the Cardinals, that 17-game run, it wouldn't have meant anything if there wasn't a second wild card. Like they went 17 in a row. But, I mean, the Padres, the Reds, the Cardinals, the Phillies, all those teams that were battling for that second wild, like it was done in June. The National League would have been done. So, and the American League still would have been, those 4 teams were still really tight. All right, bottom of the hour, high school stuff with Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks. Peter Trevisani due to be in studio to discuss the stadium bond issue coming up at 9 o'clock. 9:30 this morning, a conversation. Looking forward to Jordan Bird being with us, the former Manzano High School star, now a standout at San Diego State. He was the co-offensive MVP of the 2019 New Mexico Bowl. Aztecs and Lobos go at each other in Carson on Saturday, so we'll catch up with Albuquerque's Jordan Bird coming up at 9:30 this morning. Why don't you get over to All In Autographs? Just because I think you're going to love the place, go look at the website. Bounce around, allinautographs.com, and then give them a call if you need, 505-504-7575. and then stop by and see them at 2225 Wyoming Northeast. It is Albuquerque's premier sports memorabilia and collectible destination. It is a museum. It is you walk in, and the memorabilia that they've got, the signed, genuine pieces that they've got on the wall and in the displays there are unique. They just got a whole new batch in. You will love this place. I told you I spent 2 hours the first time I was in there. If you're looking for a gift for that person who buys everything for themselves, you will find something in there. Let them know you heard it here on the opening drive. $25 off your purchase of $100 or more. Ask them about their VIP club. You'll receive the newsletter. Get invited to cigar nights and Texas Hold'em nights and whiskey tasting nights with the celebrities that they bring in. All in Autographs is special. Not just Albuquerque special. This is as nice as I've seen anywhere in America. All in Autographs is at 2225 Wyoming Northeast. Go just say hello. Walk in there. You're going to love the place. It is Albuquerque's premier sports memorabilia and collectible destination.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green. And keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done. From laptop, I was able to nail down the bike I wanted, add a few customizations, and get an estimate on my trade-in.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport. including all NMAA state championship games.
The match. Brooksy, Bryson, showdown in Las Vegas. 12 holes.
What is 12 holes?
It's JJ says nobody wants to watch 18. I don't know. I kind of do, but all right, 12 is fine.
Do you remember what happened with the last match?
It got dark. Well, the last one
that was on TV for like 6 hours.
Well, okay, that's stupid though. It doesn't need to be 6 hours to play 18 holes of golf. It just doesn't.
Though that's what happens when you throw in non-golfers.
No, that's what happens when you throw in 3-minute television commercials between every damn shot. That's why it went. It wasn't because you threw in non-golfers.
It's not going to be different now.
I'm a non-golfer and I can play
18.
my slow rounds are 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Like, so yes. And by the way, these are two golfers, so they're
Then
not
how do you
non-golfers.
do it without commercials?
Well, you don't. But you throw in the commercials at a time, and you don't have to extend it to 6 hours. And it was oversold. But that's why that was. It had nothing to do with non-golfers. But yeah, so 12 holes, Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So you're gonna watch the Lobos Utah State. Or you're gonna watch Brooks. That's a tough one actually.
I have two TVs.
Yeah, 2:00 on TBS, True TV, HLN, TNT. Like give it 4 networks. No, honestly, it's on TNT and TBS and True TV and HLN. 4 networks to watch these guys. All right, let me ask you this, and this is so ABQ Central. Would you rather watch them play golf or fight?
Golf.
Okay,
golf.
All right.
When is
Well,
it?
I love golf though.
I do too.
Honestly, there's the circus element of it.
Yes.
When just two people are beating each other up, but how many times have we seen celebrity boxing match? It's the worst thing ever.
It is.
When non-fighters try to fight.
I don't want to see them fight either.
Like,
all right, are they going to be friendly? Like they're going to have Friendsgiving? You said, Brooksy said.
I want them to talk. The only reason this excites me.
Yeah.
Like if they're honest about what the heck happened. Like if they really didn't like each other, why? Like let's talk. Like it was.
So you want to hear him walking down and having a conversation?
just
Man,
like
you were just a jerk.
What was Brooksy about?
Yeah.
Like I can't handle it. Like why do you snap back? Like if they're like talking, then I'm all for it. But if this is some sham, we're like, oh, we're best friends. Like,
well, see, that's
move on.
I wonder if this is going to work, because if they're best friends, to your point, you don't care. If they throw forced jabs, like rehearsed lines at each other, it's not going to be good.
These matches have to have a Steph Curry,
and
a
that's
Peyton Manning,
why
Tom Brady.
And I listened to the afternoon show yesterday, and they told me nobody cares about watching Peyton Manning and Tom Brady play golf. They kind of do. You know why?
Because they add an element of entertainment to it.
And they also give you the everyman thing. They're like, oh, that's me. I hit the ball like that. I pump it into the shrubs like that. There is an entertainment value to this. Who's on one, by the way? Who you got there?
What?
Who's on one?
Howard.
All right.
I don't know why it didn't come through.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I just think there is an element to the everyman, the non-golfer. I think there's something that brings it, because it feels like there's going to be just forced rehearsed lines.
But if two dudes playing 12 holes, what's the excitement about that if they're not like honestly talking, or if there's not someone there to kind of push the conversation different ways?
I'm gonna watch, but this is the first one where I'm like, all right, I mean, I'll watch, but I'm skeptical. I knew I'd be entertained. Steph Curry was there, Peyton Manning was there, Tom Brady was there, Aaron Rodgers was there. I knew I'd be entertained.
The thing with athletes of that caliber is they're not going to be scared to ask that question.
Yeah.
Like put the guy on the spot, because they are essentially peers. But if you just kind of have some like reporter just kind of like, Brooks, what was the deal with Bryson? He's like,
no,
like,
good.
But if,
it was the media, you guys blew it up.
But if it's Tom Brady, even Phil Mickelson is good at that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like someone
100%.
of that caliber
Yep.
that goes, what's up with this, guys? Was this the real thing? Like you're going to get a different conversation. It's the whole.
Maybe that's why they're only doing 12, because there's not enough conversation for carrying
Right?
18.
It's,
honestly,
it's the whole.
They're not funny enough to go through 18.
Barbershop conversation. Like you're there, dudes, just opening up differently.
100%.
And if you don't have that, what are we gonna get out of this?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about this one. Hello, Howie.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm just not a golf guy, man. I tell you, and then on Thanksgiving, and I mean Steph Curry. Well, obviously in the middle of the NBA season, JJ, and maybe you go Peyton Manning and Tony Romo and get them out there and have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, that'd be good. I just think the personalities look.
Dueling analyst.
You don't have to be a golf guy, and I get it, and we all watch it. The first Tiger Phil one was really good, and it was on the Friday after Thanksgiving. And I watched it, and I was entertained. Remember, it was kind of a pay-per-view, but it wasn't. And I was entertained, and it was good. Like, it can be good. This one gives me trepidation, but I will watch.
Well, you know, and Thanksgiving is just synonymous with me with turkey, pumpkin pie, Dallas Cowboys, and playing Hungry Hippos with my grandkids.
Yeah, but what about on
you know?
Friday?
So
This is the day after. You watch the Cowboys
well,
on,
you know,
on
the day after,
rerun?
you know, I would be intrigued to probably peek at it. But I need a celebrity buffer there. I really do.
I do too. You got Lobos Utah State that day too. Lobos Utah State.
Yeah.
That's an early kick,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Hey, I'm a jump over to NFL. You know, I was pretty surprised at the Dallas Cowboy cutting of Jalen Smith yesterday. He's actually been playing okay, and given the fact that with DeMarcus Lawrence hurt, you move Micah Parsons up to defensive end, and you know the history of Van Der Esch getting hurt. You know, I was surprised that they cut him, but now it's starting to make me believe that maybe we're going to find something out here in the next week or two. You know, maybe it was back to the locker room, or who knows, maybe something else. But you know, and then Stephon Gilmore. You know, I was awoke from a slumber this morning about 5:30 with my messenger ding going off, and Edward stating that Stephon Gilmore had gotten cut.
Edward's got to understand when too early is to start dinging your phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got started just putting my phone in the living room.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But anyway, you know, I don't know, JJ, because you're the guru of information. Does Tampa Bay have cap space for him?
Yes, because if he gets through waivers, then you're not picking up his contract for the rest of the season.
Then you sign him at the minimum.
And who more than Tampa Bay needs help in the secondary? Maybe he found a landing spot with Gronk and Tom Brady. We'll have the New England Patriots South, guys. Have a good day.
See you. All right, when we come back, because that's good points in there. And two big names, again, Jalen Smith, the Cowboys, Stephon Gilmore, New England, both released by those teams. When we come back, high school stuff. Sebastian Noel's going to be with us from ProView Networks. We'll get through high school football. Top of the hour, Peter Trevisani, the managing partner for New Mexico United, due in to talk about the stadium bond issue. Jordan Bird, former Manzano star, now with San Diego State, in front of the Aztecs and Lobos, due to be with us at 9:30 this morning.
You want to crush your drives like Bryson? Well, how about some full-body functional fitness workouts? They're going to hit everything from head to toe, high-intensity interval training, 45-minute sessions. Get yourself that extended hour session on a Saturday morning. Workouts from cardio to strength-based focuses. It's fantastic. Yesterday it was lower body leg day, hitting that lower body leg strength. Today, more cardio-based workouts, and that's the beauty of F45 training. The workouts are set up, ready to go. All you got to do is show up, and you can find the time because it's only 45 minutes. They have classes available 7 days a week, so check them out now, F45training.com. Download the F45 app. You can check out everything that's going on at the Northeast Heights location. Sign up for your 7-day free trial. Book your class on the app to guarantee your spot. Get in and get going. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, my name is Adrian Chavez Sr., proud owner, operator of Lobo Protective Services. We are also a proud member of ProView Networks, as well as so excited that New Mexico Youth Sports is back. In order to join our team, please join us at www.loboprotectiveservices.com.
You trusted your home or business security to a company with an armed response. They sold out to a national corporate giant, and you're stuck on the brink of less security. I'm Aaron Jones, owner of International Protective Service. IPS isn't for sale. I'm invested here, and I care about your home and business as if it's my own. Let the highly trained armed guards or 24-hour patrols of IPS protect what's yours. With faster response times to catch criminals and less associated costs. Call 897-2420 or go to ipsglobal.com.
When looking for the best experience while buying an all-new Kia, Fiesta Kia offers some of the most knowledgeable and friendly Kia specialists in New Mexico. They'll help you find the Kia that will meet all your expectations. Kias have some of the most affordable vehicles for you to choose from, offering extensive options and style for the price. And with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, Kia won't be beat. Come be a part of the Fiesta family today, 7400 Lomas Boulevard Northeast, or start driving now at fiestakia.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated
Hey, my 50 game of the week last week, you caught a 100-point pinball match going back and forth between the best team in the state, Rio Rancho, and Cibola, who hung with them for quite a while. In fact, were up early. Rio Rancho found themselves down. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, A. Marie, Adrian. We're back at your phone calls coming up in a little bit.
That was big because that just blew the record out of the water.
Well,
for Rio Rancho.
Yeah, enough of that. We can stop talking about that. Rio Rancho giving up one touchdown, 7 points all year. Sebastian Noel is the main voice, the big dog over at ProView Networks, and he joins us this morning. Good morning, Seabass. How you living?
Good. Yeah, that was quite a game, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were watching that. I was flipping back and forth between that and it was my Friday night high school game, or was it Utah State? I was watching a Mountain West game, and that game back and forth. And your game was really entertaining, man. You got a lot of points. I don't know. Did you believe early on when Cibola was up that maybe Rio Rancho was in trouble?
Well, Daryl certainly did. Sometimes the best stuff happens during the commercial break, and so
that's right.
we're kind of going back and forth during the commercial, and I just, the feeling I had, and that I told Daryl during the commercial, I just think once Rio ties it, this thing's over. I just thought that game plan, which they executed so perfectly, those long offensive drives, keeping Rio Rancho off the field, I just thought that would be too difficult to execute for 4 quarters.
Yeah, and it was. And Rio Rancho just really accelerated. And when you got a young man going for 350 something, what was his final numbers?
30 carries, 339 yards, 4 touchdowns. Homecoming king came on the field in a convertible. It was a good night to be Zach Vigil.
Yeah, I watched that young man. You tell me about him, and I have not yet seen him in person, but I watched him, and I'm like, all right. So I didn't realize that was the same night he came on the field and homecoming king. Yeah, that might be a night that stands out the rest of your life for you, huh? High school. And then after the game, he says, yeah, I didn't really play my best. 340 yards, 4 touchdowns, and homecoming king's a pretty good night. Like, how does it get better?
Yeah, and it was the first time, honestly, I've interviewed him a few times on the field last year. It was the first time I ever seen him walk kind of tired. He was tired just walking over with our sideline reporter, Vernon. 30 carries, that's a load. That's a work. That's working.
Sebastian Noel's with us on the opening drive.
Well, Sebastian, for Cibola, what were they able to do successful? Was it just on the quarterback offensively? How were they able to make that Rio Rancho defense work?
No, offensive line played really well in that first half, JJ. They were able to sprinkle in the run. Obviously they want to throw the ball. That's their weapon. They have a great quarterback, but their offensive line was so good that they were able to sprinkle in the run at just the right times, and it was working. And I think, it didn't really start to go wrong for Cibola until, they had some injuries in that game, and I think what really hurts them is probably their best two-way guy, Brandon Castillo, getting hurt in that game. So that now number one receiver's out, but he plays the other way as well. So defensively, you lose a lot on the back end there in the secondary, and and then fatigue. I mean, those big guys up front for Rio Rancho, they just start to wear you down. And I just didn't think that they had the manpower to sustain that. I mean, at depth-wise, they just don't have the numbers.
Talking with Sebastian Well, ProView Networks. Sebastian, high school football is always wild. There's flows with players graduating numbers. But does this year feel even more just set in stone? Because I'm just looking at some of the scores across the board, and teams that you expect to compete aren't competing. Like, what do you feel just kind of overall about high school football this season in the state of New Mexico?
Well, a couple things. One, there does not need to be a 6A. I think there's too many classes in football, but that's a whole other discussion to have. But, yeah, no, I mean, I try to make the argument that La Cueva could be that third team, but I just can't get that 50-0 score against Rio out of my mind. I just, you have two teams that are, one, it starts with they're incredibly well coached, right? And then they have some nice facilities. Open enrollment obviously hurts, APS. And so you have kind of talent gravitates towards that part of town, and it's led to some pretty ugly football this year.
Sebastian, I went out Thursday night. I saw the La Cueva El Dorado game. And it was the first time I'd seen Aiden Armenta in person. I've seen him on TV. He throws a beautiful ball. There was a drive, and I don't know if you saw. Well, yeah, you were there. The drive before halftime, he throws 2 deep balls, one a deep out and one just a go route. And I was impressed with his arm, the way he threw the ball. And it was rainy in the second half. They pulled away. Now, I'm not lying. When it started coming down a little harder, I said, all right, it's 28-0, and it's rainy and it's wet, and I'm done. But I saw enough to be really impressed with that young man.
I did see you sneak off there. I thought maybe you'd come upstairs, speak shelter with us. But
No, I'm not lying.
Stuck it out for a while.
Yeah, no,
he's
full
gotten
disclosure.
better every week, Jeff. He throws a great ball, and he's gained confidence, and he's young. And if you want to compare the two Aidens, Aiden Armenta has something Aiden Chavez doesn't have, and that's Exodus Ayers, Ian Sanchez, Jackson Hicks,
He's got receivers.
Markham. He's got a great group of receivers there at La Cueva that are all very young. So that's a team that maybe they pull an upset this year, but in the next couple of years, that offensive core will be together. And Aiden Armenta is getting better every week. It's fun to watch.
By the same token, it's a long time. Well, I guess it's happened a couple of times now. See El Dorado get handled like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a glass half full guy, Jeff. And honestly, what Coach Dodson's done there, they don't have much this year. If you're being honest, they don't have a lot. And so to get that team into the playoffs this year, it tells you all you need to know about Coach Dodson, man. He's one of the best.
Sebastian, looking at 5A, I know we've talked about Los Lunas, but how good is Farmington?
I'm not a believer yet. They haven't played anybody. So I think Goddard is a better side than Farmington. Goddard's at least a little tested on their schedule. Now, Goddard's pretty banged up. So they'll have to have some injuries. That when we had them on the My 50 game of the week, they were missing their starting running back, and they were down to their third-string quarterback. So they'll have to get healthy. But Farmington just hasn't played anybody. I think that's Los Lunas to lose. And, with them moving up next year, they'll move up to the highest classification in football next year. That'll be their swan song, and I think they'll go out with the championship.
So what do you have on deck this weekend?
The game of the week, we have Cibola against Cleveland.
Nice.
So talk about tough, man. When you have to take Rio Rancho and Cleveland back to back on your schedule, and Cibola is so banged up leaving that game, that's going to be a tough game.
Big Metro championships for cross country. All the Metro teams, all the top teams, all the teams in the Metro area are going to come together. This is aside from the state championship, this is kind of the one on the schedule that most of these teams really, really circle. It'll be out of Community Stadium on Saturday morning. There'll be a lot of runners out there. This is a big day on the cross-country schedule.
Jeff, are you going to be out there?
Promise. Yeah.
I'm anointing you ProView Network's cross-country correspondent.
All right, I'm down. No, I'm down. I passed up going to the Red River rivalry for this one. I was going to go to OU, Texas, and I would have been right in the middle of it. And when your baby girl says, well, she didn't even say it. I looked at the schedule. She's got Metro championships. What are you doing?
Hey, there's another rivalry down in Eunice, Jeff. So if you're familiar with Eunice,
I got a Dairy Queen there.
Something up at the Tasty Freeze, but number 1 and number 2 down in Eunice this week. That'll be a good one.
All right.
Robertson versus Raton, only one loss between those teams. There's a lot of good games this week. And lower into the playoff picture, like Sandia's playing Albuquerque High this week, right? Clovis is at Santa Fe. Clovis somehow upset Santa Fe, and Santa Fe can't be seated ahead of them. Then maybe Sandia sneaks in as the last team, so that's an important game for Sandia. I mean, there's a lot of things happening this week.
Enjoy them and watch them on ProView Networks, and you can get it. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com. It's over the air on Channel 20.5, a lot of the games, and, of course, the game of the week on My 50. Sebastian, I'll find you somewhere this week. How'd you play yesterday, or on Monday, by the way?
I did okay, yeah. I did all right.
You hit the ball okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I heard the rough was pretty bad out there at your tournament.
Oh, it was not bad at all. I don't know who you're talking to. The winners felt it was just
fine. Well,
yeah.
You're always in the fairway, Jeff. That's why.
No, I didn't play. I hosted the tournament. I didn't get to really play this weekend. But you and I will go hit them soon. Maybe we'll bring JJ and Marie. We'll see.
There you go.
All right. Be well. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
You too, guys.
Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks. I don't know. I mean,
Hit up that Tasty Freeze.
The rough's supposed to be penal. If you go in the rough, it's supposed to be a little, right?
Right.
That's why there's.
I don't even go in the rough. I just go into dirt everywhere.
Yeah, you do sometimes fly right past the rough. he hits the ball a long way, just goes dead right. And it's like, damn. And every once in a while he connects and goes straight, and you're like, all right, we'll play yours.
Yes.
Like he pumps it. It just.
He just shambos it.
Well, not quite that. No, but he hits it pretty well. you Bryson yet?
Oh,
he's got a big left to right on it. All right, top of the hour, Peter Trevisani is due to be in studio with us to talk about the stadium bond issue. Bottom of the hour, 9:30, Jordan Bird, the former Manzano High School star, now a standout at San Diego State as the Aztecs and Lobos get ready to play each other this weekend. So that's what's coming up. How you living, fellas? I know I ask that all the time. How you living? So what's the answer? Are you living like you want to be living? I hope you're feeling well. If you're not, If you're feeling sluggish, maybe you're tired too often, put on a few extra pounds, maybe you're even dealing with erectile dysfunction. May I strongly suggest you call New Male? New Male is a health clinic for men. They're right here in Albuquerque. They have been helping men all over the country deal with these natural things for years. Look, New Male's industry-leading testosterone replacement has men feeling like themselves again. Call them for yourself. Do this for you. 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688. You can visit them online at New Male. That's NUMALE.com. You'll feel better. Relatively recently, I was out somewhere. A good buddy of mine told me he heard me talking about New Male on the radio. He called him, made an appointment. Then he thanked me. He said he was feeling way better. Guys, the beauty of New Male is the results. It works, and there's thousands of stories like my friend. You got nothing to lose. You got a whole lot to gain by calling New Male at 505-652-1688. As you head into the back end of the year, the most hectic time on the calendar, take care of yourself. Guys, do this for you. Call New Male at 505-652-1688 or visit newmale.com and feel like you again.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
Hi, my name is Adrian Chavez Sr., proud owner, operator of Lobo Protective Services. We are also a proud member of ProView Networks, as well as so excited that New Mexico Youth Sports is back. In order to join our team, please join us at www.loboprotectiveservices.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done. From laptop, I was able to nail down the bike I wanted, add a few customizations, and get an estimate on my trade-in.
Dream style roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Dreaming Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done. From laptop, I was able to nail down the bike I wanted.
By the way, the rough wasn't that bad. What's happened to this generation? Yeah, we had a spot to fill because you guys couldn't play in the tournament the other day. So I told my interns, I'll call them that. I said, hey, bring your clubs. He's the guy who says, you're going to play 18 holes? Gosh, aren't you tired after 18? I'm like, dude, you are so soft. 18, I'm going to go work out in the morning, but I can't play 18 holes? Whatever. What happened?
What happened?
What happened?
People playing 18 holes of golf.
In the rough. It's too much golf. I'm tired. Really? Hello, Derek. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's happening?
Not much. Just last weekend, got to go down and see my son play for the first time this season, and as the Bobby Newcomb-led Castile Colts won a game, which was exciting.
That's a big deal. Nice.
And yeah, Bobby is doing a great job down there.
Tell Bobby what's up when you see him, man. I'm a big Bobby Newcomb fan.
I will.
Big Bobby Newcomb fan.
Yeah, I will. As a matter of fact, did you see when Bishop Gorman lost that game to Hamilton?
I just saw the score. I didn't see the game. I saw the score. Yeah.
Yeah, in the last 70 seconds, Castile actually played Hamilton that week before, so that's kind of cool to see.
Oh, it is.
But anyway, as that was happening, I also was enjoying watching my Iowa Hawkeyes just take one Mike, put another digit on the scoreboard, Loxley to the woodshed.
Yes, he did on a Friday night.
I still feel that he's not a head coach. He's a good assistant. He's a good recruiter. I just don't think he's a head coach. And I know it's early. It's only, October 6th? as of right now, could you make the argument maybe the Big Ten is the best conference? Yes, Alabama and Georgia are the two best teams, and I don't think there's any doubt about that. But when you look at it top to bottom, with Iowa,
Michigan, Penn State.
Exactly. And it would not shock me one bit if, at the end of the day, if you see a all Big Ten SEC college football playoff. But still 2 months to go, but again, as of October 6th, it would not shock me.
Yeah, it would shock me. All right, man. Good to hear from you. Thanks for the call from Vegas.
All right, man. You guys have a great day.
Be well. So it would shock me if it was only two. I first of all, if Cincinnati runs the table in that scenario they're in, right? You're not going two Big Ten, two SEC, are you? If Cincinnati runs the table and they beat Notre Dame already?
Cincinnati's got to get in.
Right? At that point, they've got...
If not, then Group of Five's got to boycott college
Well,
football.
if that's the case, then let's stop the facade, because that would be the year. Like, if that's the case... Now, look, Cincinnati's going to have games. Temple, they still got to play UCF. UCF's still nice. Navy's always challenging. They got Houston. They don't have Houston on the schedule. They got SMU. And they still got to go through their schedule. But if that's the case. But top to bottom, I mean, the SEC, Georgia, Alabama, and then who's the next best team? Is it Florida? Is it Arkansas? Might be Arkansas, huh?
Oof, and how did they look against Georgia?
Yeah. All right, Peter Trevisani's due in studio next to talk about the stadium bond issue here in Albuquerque. Bottom of the hour, Jordan Bird, the former Manzano star, now a standout at San Diego State, due to be with us, Aztecs and Lobos this weekend. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, A. Marie, Adrienne. Glad you're with us on a beautiful Wednesday on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done. From laptop, I was able to nail down the bike I wanted, add a few customizations, and get an estimate on my trade-in.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, my name is Adrian Chavez Sr., proud owner, operator of Global Protective Services. We are also a proud member of ProView Networks, as well as so excited that New Mexico Youth Sports is back. In order to join our team, please join us at www.loboprotectiveservices.com.
All right, we're going to get back to your phone calls, I don't know, tomorrow? Is that where we are? And
And take your texts, your emails, your questions.
I got a lot of texts. I got the emails, and we're already in it. But we're going to spend the next half hour talking about the stadium bond issue. Jordan Bird, the former Manzano star, the co-offensive MVP of the 2019 New Mexico Bowl, and now the standout of San Diego State is going to be with us at 9:30. But it's I want to talk about, obviously, what's a huge issue. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. The bond issue, the stadium bond issue. David Carl is here from New Mexico United. Good to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
The boss is on the way, I take it?
Yeah, Pete's on the way. He's going to be probably a little more.
We're not important enough to show up on time. I'm
kidding. Traffic.
Right.
I almost got blocked off on the way here. There's a whole something happening with APD on the way over
is
here.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right.
Imagine a stadium down here. That's a joke. That's a joke.
He doesn't have headphones on.
Yeah, he doesn't have headphones.
Oh, dang it.
Are there headphones here? All right, so here we go. Ballots are out, absentee ballots, and you might know what. Oh, you already got that. And early voting starting. So I guess let's go through the whole thing, because first and foremost, and I didn't want to start with this, but it just came in. I don't know if this was for you, David, or more so probably for Peter. It says you're deep in enemy territory over there, Peter. Give them hell, buddy. How has this become an enemy? Like, are we enemies? I don't think we are.
You guys.
Well, see, my point is, if somebody raises a question, are you an enemy? If you're not, just go, yes, because we want a stadium. We got questions about the way this current bond, this question has been constructed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we the enemies to you? Are we not welcome in your place anymore?
No.
Oh, he is. I'm not.
You're both welcome at all times, and this is something that we've stressed from the beginning. And unfortunately, I think in the age of social media, things get diluted and people say what they want to say. But every time we've had conversations with people, we've said, people who support the bond.
Yeah.
Every time we've had conversations, we said the people who disagree with us are not our enemies. They're opportunities for conversation.
Yeah.
That's the first and foremost things. People should have questions about this bond. It's a big deal.
Yep.
People should have concerns. Let's talk through them. That's the whole point of this. When I see people getting angry at each other over this thing, I kind of shake my head, and it's a bit frustrating, because we should be able to have concerns. We should be able to have conversations. We should be able to talk about these things without somebody being the enemy. So I don't feel like we're in enemy territory. I feel like we're having a conversation.
Yeah, I think we're all, in the end, would like to get to the same place. I see a different route than maybe you do, and I think it's okay. Okay, let's start with some of the basics. I think I'll tell you the concerns I hear, and some of them I have.
Sure.
One of them is, hey, you're asking me to vote on something. Where is it? Well, we'll tell you later. How's it going to be, the rest of the funding? Well, we'll tell you later. Where's the parking? Where's the infrastructure money? Where's the money for land acquisition and those things? So those are, like I look at it and, like, first of all, I don't know where it's going to be necessarily, nor do you.
No.
And so how do you address those concerns?
Yeah, let's start with the funding, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So that one, I think, is kind of been sorted out. It took some time. Probably happened a little later than we would have liked. But
kudos to you guys on the $10 million.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good place for us to be. I think we've bridged the gap, right? And we need to make sure that we do everything that we can to invest in this community. I mean, that's first and foremost the most important thing to us. Soccer is secondary, and that's always been the case. We pride ourselves on being a community impact organization that happens to play soccer. That's the vehicle. But as far as the funding goes, obviously, hopefully, if everything goes well on November 2nd, passes, that's $50 million toward the bond. The estimated total cost is somewhere in the range of 75.
But that's without land acquisition and any infrastructure upgrades and parking and all those things.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's not really a way for us to define what the land acquisition cost will be, because ultimately it's the city, right? The city goes and they have conversations with individual landowners, whether those be public, whether those be businesses, whether those be individual families, whether that be whomever it is.
Whoever owns the land,
right?
And what's market value, unless we go eminent domain on this thing, and then you're going to have a whole nother.
Well, which we've said we don't want to be part of eminent domain. We've said that from day one. So I think that's a really important thing. But land acquisition obviously is a question mark, right? We don't know what that's going to cost. But as far as kind of the set costs, the things that we know about right now, we've found the way to make sure that all of that is covered. So again, the number ballpark range is somewhere between 75 and 85, I think is what they've said for total cost. So potentially $50 million from the bond if that passes. About $9 million from the state that's already been, over the last 2 years, has already been acquired. Some of that from individual legislators, some of that from the governor's office to get to about $9 million. Obviously,
we put in $10
million up front, and then an additional $22.5 over the course of 25 years in rent from United. So that goes back towards paying off the bond and all of that kind of stuff.
But that doesn't help you with the initial costs on the land acquisition, the infrastructure.
Sure. So again, it's the $10 million that comes from there, and I think that leaves us with, I do math in my head.
Yeah, whatever the number is going to be, because I think you would agree it's an unknown number by the time you get there.
Yeah. So I mean, again, there's going to be some costs that aren't necessarily known 100%. But the ones that we do know, we've got the ability to get those covered.
David Carl from New Mexico United is in studio with us.
Now, David, as you've begun these conversations and you're in it, it's easy for people that aren't in these neighborhoods to say, like, you're crazy. What are you talking about? Why wouldn't you want a stadium? But specifically from the kind of the two areas that you guys have zoned in on, whether it's Cole Broadway, 2nd Street, and Iron.
Yeah.
What are the things you're hearing from people in those specific areas?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we've reached out to the community organizations in those in those communities, Burles Neighborhood Association, Burles Community Coalition. And what we were told before we met with these individuals, we were talking to some of our folks in Burles, and they said, these organizations don't often agree on a lot. They kind of often go at each other on issues. We sat down with both of them, and they both said, we are willing to work with you guys to try and find a solution. They don't want to make it easy by any means, but they shouldn't, right? The goal should be to do what the best possible thing is for their communities, right? And so we are working directly with them to find a community benefits agreement, and we were really, really happy that going into this process, there was an amendment added to the city council vote that essentially said a CBA, a community benefits agreement, is required regardless of what community this goes into before a shovel can go on the ground. That's the first I'm aware of any stadium in any sport at any level in the United States. I've never heard of that before. So ultimately what that means is, let's just say it's Burles, or let's say it's Sawmill or South Broadway, wherever it would potentially go. If the community does not agree, it doesn't go there, period. They get the final say, and so
there's still a lot of questions there too, because we're not there. And I think that's really the trepidation for me. Is just there's so many. It feels like I understand United wants a stadium, and I'm okay with this being a soccer stadium. I see it being pushed. It's our stadium. It's a soccer stadium, and it's okay that it's a soccer stadium, right?
Yeah,
it's
a
okay.
multi-purpose, but yeah,
but it's okay. But there's so many questions. Does the community want it? Where's it going to go? Well, if it doesn't go there, then what are we going to do? And it almost feels like it's rushed in some respects. Do you see that perspective? I know you don't believe that.
No, I absolutely hear what you're saying. I guess the way I would look at it is the bond vote in November 2nd, and again, early voting already underway, is saying, do we want to give this a shot? Do we want to give this a chance? And ultimately, there are the safeguards in place, such as requiring a community benefits agreement that says, if it doesn't work, let's say, in this community, or if it doesn't work for this reason or that reason, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen without a community benefits agreement. It doesn't happen, without the LOI that we got signed 2 weeks ago. Those kinds of things that are safeguards for the community. So I hear where you're coming from when you say it's rushed. I don't agree.
I know.
And that's okay. But I feel like there are safeguards in place in order to make sure that wherever it goes, if it does pass, that it's done in a way that is beneficial. Not just saying like, okay, the community says it's fine. No, the community wants it there. It's beneficial to
and
the
I
community.
appreciate that. I almost feel like you guys would have been better off and this is, again, my perspective, and
Sure.
you don't have to agree with me, that if some of these questions would have been answered and maybe you put this on the ballot next November, whenever it is, it feels like some of these questions would have been answered and maybe you guys would have had a better shot. I don't know, because it may very well still pass.
Yeah.
But for someone, the questions that I'm getting, it feels like a lot of these would be answered already.
Sure. And again, I think our main goal and our main charge, I think, from now until November 2nd and beyond, frankly, is to answer these questions as much as possible. And that's part of that is being here with you guys. Part of that is, getting stuff out on social media. And there has been a lot of misinformation about this is going to raise your taxes. No, it's not. This is going to be owned by the team. No, it's not. All these things. There's been a ton of misinformation. So our charge is making sure that we answer the questions that people have to the best of our ability. Right. And we fight that misinformation. And if Jeff, JJ, if you guys have all the information on November 2nd or before, and you vote no, more power to you. That's absolutely your right to do so. We just want to make sure that you've got all the info.
That's fair.
And with this bond, is there a timetable on it? Like, if it passes, do you guys have the ability to have this at your disposal and then start looking at other sites if things fall through?
Well, I think there's an important distinction to be made there. The money doesn't come to us. The money doesn't go to United.
I mean, will it be set aside like, hey, this is for stadium, all right, maybe this falls through, but it's still here, let's look at what's next?
Sure. So I think as far as timeline goes, I think first and foremost, nothing can happen until a community benefits agreement is agreed. So however long that takes, we want to make sure we do it right, not do it fast. That's the most important thing. And then from there, it's land acquisition, right? I don't know. Maybe it's reverse order on that. Maybe it's land acquisition. I don't know. I think it would make more sense in my head, CBA first, then land acquisition, so you can put it there. But anyway, that's what happens first. And then I think from there, once you get community benefits agreement, once you get land acquisition, and I would imagine you're getting into design, at that point, I think maybe you break ground. That would be my thought process. And, with the hope to potentially play games in 2024, 2025.
David Carl's in studio, Peter, I guess, is on his way.
He's here. He's at the door. He just texted
Peter's
me.
On the way. So let me ask you this, while we get him and we'll go through the break, because this is something that I know is important to you. Is atmosphere.
Yeah, of course.
And what you guys have created with where you are right now, you've got tailgate area, you've got all this room. I've seen the plans, and I haven't seen any. I saw staff parking.
Yeah.
Is there going to be parking? How are you going to, with the designs you have and not knowing where it's going to go, how are you going to keep that game day atmosphere, to have the marches, to have the tailgate?
Yeah.
Where are you going to do that?
It's a great question. And obviously there's different sites and different designs and all that kind of stuff. I think with the rail yards location, the main rail yards location, there would be a space for kind of one surface lot that isn't the same size as what we've got over at Isotopes Park right now.
You got it nice right now.
Yeah, it's great. The parking. I mean, that's what the Lobos use, obviously. But I think one of the cool things about potentially having this new stadium, if it does indeed pass, is the ability to kind of reinvent some things. So there will be some space for tailgating. I think that's awesome. But one of the reasons that we've really pushed on having it downtown is the ability to help local businesses, right? So maybe that is in local pubs, local restaurants before the game as well. I went to London a while back, and I'm a big Arsenal fan. That's my team in London. It's kind of a curse, but when you go to those matches in London, everybody's in the pubs before the match. And then about an hour and change before the match, everybody pours out and they march to the stadium together, and it's awesome. It's so cool.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to get there. All right, I want to have that conversation. I know we got to take this break. Peter's in studio now. We'll talk with Peter. Jordan Bird at the bottom of the hour. We'll continue the conversation about the stadium with Peter Trevisani, David Carl of New Mexico United on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
Hi, my name is Adrian Chavez Sr., proud owner, operator of Lobo Protective Services. We are also a proud member of ProView Networks, as well as so excited that New Mexico Youth Sports is back. In order to join our team, please join us at www.loboprotectiveservices.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No, bad dog. We're having the conversation about the stadium bond issue, which is up for vote now through November 2nd. It's good to see you. See, Balloon Fiesta is a great thing unless you have to drive in the traffic and all these people not knowing where they're going.
No, I think you're right. So apologies, my bad for not planning well. But I will say, driving next to beneath, seeing balloons cross over the highway, land in the Holiday Inn suite parking lot. Right. I don't know if I'm going through menopause, but like a tear was coming down my eye. It was just, all I saw in the sky was resiliency. It was really beautiful.
Right. Are you having hot flashes too?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But it was worth it.
Hey, I'm glad you're here. And what we're going to do, we're going to talk with Peter and David, and then Jordan Bird's going to be with us at the bottom of the hour, and then Peter will be with us at the end of the show, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. And I started David with this, and I just wanted, there was an email or a text that came in that said, "You're deep in enemy territory over there, Peter. Give them hell, buddy." We're not enemies. Can we? This is one of the things that has become divisive about this, and it's so against what Somos Unidos is, right? You guys wanted to bring everybody together, and there's been a feel, JJ and I have been told that we're not welcome in the stadium when it passes because we've got questions. We got the emails.
I'll tell you that right now. That's not true.
Well,
period.
And I appreciate that. But because somebody has a differing opinion, it feels like it's been Somos Unidos if you're about this stadium, or if you're in the tent, and if you're not, then don't. And we've been told flat out, don't come. JJ's going to chain himself to a tree, and it's everything that you don't want it to be. And this is supposed to bring the community together.
Yeah, that's right. Well, JJ, we need you in the box sometimes too, announcing the game. So, whether you're for the stadium or not, first of all, as David just said, let's go have a beer or a soda at the game. Tonight, Saturday, next year. No, everyone's invited. I don't care if you're the most adamant person against the stadium. Always welcome. It is Somos Unidos. And one thing we're going to have to keep in mind, and we should keep in mind, is that we're going to have a vote on November 2nd. And on November 3rd, we're going to wake up, and it's either going to pass or it's not. Or maybe with our luck this year, it'll be a tie. But let's just say, one of those two things happen, which means there's going to be people that are happy and there's going to be people that are hurting, no matter which way it goes. We need to come together. We have a responsibility to recognize that, we are better together. We're stronger together. I think we've proven that. So whether it goes through or not, let's make sure we're coming together on November 3rd, and we're going to move forward. United's not going anywhere, with or without a stadium.
So I've told you this, and I've said this on the air. I think the community is going to be better when, and I don't think it's if. I think when you get a soccer facility. And I think it's okay to call it a soccer stadium. It's going to be mainly a soccer stadium. I've got my questions, as I told you, about this particular, the way this one's constructed. And David and I were just talking about how I feel maybe it's a little rushed. All that said and done, the biggest message, and I've seen the commercials, David already hit, it's not raising your taxes. It's all the, what's the biggest question you get asked in regards to this? And are there any of the concerns that have validity to you?
Every concern has validity to me. You have to listen to concerns, and you have to process those. This stadium isn't just a facility; it's a responsibility, and it's a responsibility for the city, for United to the extent that we're a tenant, and so we have to recognize the concerns. And I also think people who are against it should also recognize the concerns of people who want it. Yeah. And let's go address those because they're legitimate. We're trying to grow as a city, which we have needs for more facilities. Every 20 years, putting a bond out there to build a facility is not an unreasonable request. So, this doesn't raise your taxes. That comes up a lot. There's a lot of talk about, Borellis doesn't want it or this site doesn't want it. The fact is that there's a community benefits agreement attached to the bond. That's the first time in the history of the nation we've had that. And I think at the end of the day, if the community doesn't want it, United doesn't want it there either. So even if and we have the ability in the binding letter of agreement to walk away if we don't agree on the location. So I'll just say if there's a community that doesn't want it, we're not getting behind it. But at the same time, let the communities decide for themselves. I don't think it's really appropriate for people from outside of a community to say, hey, they want this or they don't want that. Let the communities make that decision, and it will go in a community that wants it. Whether it's passing on November 2nd or we do something down the line, that's going to be the philosophy. It always has to be the philosophy.
Peter Trevisani is the managing partner for New Mexico United in studio with us.
Peter, you mentioned something in that last statement, the quality of life. And I understand what you guys do, Somos Unidos, the community first, but do you think there's an element of maybe even being upfront of saying, ultimately, kind of like Jeff said, this is a soccer stadium. Yes, you want to do other things, but just putting it out there saying this is a venue to drive forward as opposed to just trying to say, hey, this is going to be more than just a soccer stadium?
I mean, I do think it's both. I think we do have to be upfront that the programming, when you look at the core programming, what are we talking about? We have a men's team, let's call it 20 games a year. We have a binding letter with the city that we will bring a women's team. We have a legal obligation. We wanted that. United wanted that in the agreement. So it's not aspirational. It's contractual. That's 40 games, soccer games a year. We want to use it for the community as well. That could be championship games. It could be community events. And so, and also, some art-centric events. I also think about, this is just my vision of it. I look at like City Plaza, and I look at it like that. City Plaza every day, a publicly built area, right? People walk through it. They have lunch there. They use it every day. Then once in a while, it gets cordoned off, and maybe there's a ticketed event or a private event. And then when that event's over, the doors open back up. In this case, the fences come down and people walk across it. This stadium should just be open all the time. And, maybe you can't go down on the grass and have a pickup soccer game. But short of that, there should be the ability to walk around the stadium, to use it, to have restaurants or art spaces or community spaces that are open and accessible. I don't understand the idea of putting chains up and locking your stadium except when you're playing. So that, I do believe, makes it more than a soccer stadium, and that is what we're going to do whenever we do it.
And when you look at these areas, I know there's talk about the downtown development, but what does the reality look like around some of these areas that you're looking at? Is it going to be, hey, this is going to be a 5-10 year plan? How do you develop that atmosphere outside of a game day?
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons why I have been a big proponent of downtown is because I think downtown is the most hurting area of our city coming out of the pandemic. I have an apartment there. I saw when all the boards went up after the riots, and a lot of the business owners there are small business owners and minority business owners. They're not big chains and corporations. And so the idea was that where can this stadium have the greatest positive impact? Obviously, it can also have a negative impact if it's displacing people and other things like that. So you have to balance that out, and that's where I think we have to let the neighborhood really come together. But with 20%, at the very least, with 20% of our audience coming from outside Albuquerque for all of our games, that means we're going to be making a bigger economic pie for whatever region this is in. That's the restaurants, that's the hotels, that's the zoo and other amenities that we have. So I just think that we're going to be bringing more economic activity to those local businesses, and they could use every penny they can get, and every penny counts.
Peter, the downtown thing makes sense in that respect. I think other areas make sense too. The Mesa del Sol area, wherever you go, theoretically, is going to make a huge impact. Sawmill, Mesa del Sol, the fairgrounds area. I'd love to see, and I've said this many times, I think that would tie in our two most vibrant areas. Nob Hill and Uptown would tie it together with the whole, but that's not on the ballot, right? I think as you look forward, the concept is wherever it goes is to better our community.
That's
correct?
Right, 100%. It has to be. And wherever that goes, let's try to do the greatest amount of good and the least amount of harm. And so we work through those progressions. If the bond doesn't pass, then it's just a hard stop. We can't even explore that next question, which is where should we put it? There's been a site study that's been done that's identified 4 locations. That's where you start, but that's not where you end. So, the UNM area could still be on the table. Mesa del Sol, like you said, fairgrounds. We got to look at it all, and we're not going to end up agreeing on a location until we have a community that feels like they have a benefits agreement that supports them enough that it's a catalyst for them.
All right, I appreciate your flexibility on this. So we're going to do something really that we don't do a lot, but we're going to hold you guys and continue this conversation because we got a local star coming up next. Jordan Bird from Manzano High School was first team All Mountain West Conference. He was freshman of the year at San Diego State. He was co-MVP of the New Mexico Bowl a couple years ago. Lobos and Aztecs play football this weekend, and this was Jordan's loan availability. So coming up next, former Manzano star Jordan Bird's going to join us. We're going to talk to him about his success, Lobos and Aztecs this weekend, and then Peter and David are going to stay in studio, and we'll finish. Well, we're not going to finish, but we'll continue because I don't know we're ever going to finish this until November 2nd and beyond. But we'll continue the conversation on the stadium. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done. From the laptop, I was able to nail down the bike I wanted, add a few customizations, and get an estimate on my trade-in.
Dream style roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been.
This weekend, it's a big deal. It always is when New Mexico plays San Diego State. And it's kind of a big deal for a couple of guys on that Aztec roster, I would think. Keyshawn Banks from Rio Rancho and our next guest, Jordan Bird from Manzano High School in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. Our next guest was the co-MVP on the offensive side from the 2019 New Mexico Bowl when the Aztecs came in and beat Central Michigan. He was second-team All-Mountain West in 2020. JJ, do you know he's on the Horning watch list for the most versatile player in all of college football? And he's having a sensational season as the Aztecs are ranked 25th in the nation. And host the Lobos, Jordan Bird, is our guest on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, Jordan. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good. We appreciate you spending some time with us. Hey, Aztec Lobo Week. Rocky Long used to say he hates these games because he's got so much emotion. Any emotion for you being an Albuquerque guy, or is it you're an Aztec and it's the next team on the schedule? How you feeling?
I'm doing good. Yeah, it's kind of different, especially playing in the Mexico team. I'm from New Mexico. And playing against my friends, especially Andrew Erickson and his brother.
Yep.
I know he used to be my wide receiver when I was in high school, so it's going to be pretty weird seeing him on the other side. I know it's going to be a good game. Coach G used to be my recruiter, so it's going to be really cool to see him out there too.
What's the conversation been amongst your guys? I know you're not playing in San Diego, the game's in Carson, but the majority of your roster played for Rocky Long. You guys, you won the last bowl game with Coach Long. It was his last game. It was here. How is it against Coach Long? Has there been any talk about it this week?
We're just going to take this game as a normal game, just another game to go 1-0 and then just keep pushing on to win the championship, I know we have some history with Coach Long and everything, there's a lot of stuff that we've seen with him. But, we're just going to go out there and be 1-0 this week.
Jordan Bird is San Diego State's second leading rusher, 3 touchdowns, averaging 11.8 yards per carry this year. He's with us on the opening drive.
Jordan, when you look back at your freshman season versus where you are now, where do you think you've grown the most on and off the field?
I feel like more intelligent on the field. There's a lot of stuff that you don't really see when you're a freshman, and just being on the field as a senior, you see a lot of defenses that you've seen before, and then just going down through the film and looking through stuff, and just off the field, classwork is a little bit different. You have a lot more classes that are being taught different than as a freshman. You know, just coming from high school, going on to freshman years, it's a lot different.
What's it been like going through a coaching change? Because the expectations for this program haven't changed, but just the leadership has. How has it been dealing with that as a student athlete?
Not too bad. You know, I've had my coach since I've been here, Coach Horton, my running back coach. So it's kind of not like a different change to me. You know, we had a different offense coordinator. You know, just getting down the plays, different plays that we ran. It was a little bit of a change with the offense coordinator, but other than that, it's been good. You know, my running back coach has been really good with us.
And Jeff Horton was the offensive coordinator. I'm a big Jeff Horton fan. Please give him my best, by the way, because I'm a big fan of his.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Yeah, he's my favorite.
No, he's terrific. In fact, he wasn't happy with me last year when the Aztecs got left out of a bowl game, and he asked me, why is Hawaii in? And I'm like, well, talk to the league. But it was a big deal for your program. They'd been in a bowl game for 10 years in a row, and last year at 4-4, it was a weird year all around. But not going to a bowl game, it meant something to your program, huh?
Oh, yeah, we were really bummed out. You know, it's especially going to a bowl game almost every year. We just knew that we had to step it up this year, especially going 4-4 last year. We knew that wasn't how Aztecs play, so we knew that we had to change a lot.
Jordan Bird is with us. Jordan, how good is this team? You're 4-0. You've beaten Utah. You've beaten UCLA. The Aztecs pride themselves. I'm sorry, Arizona, not UCLA. Arizona. You've beaten.
Maybe they'll get a chance.
Yeah, maybe UCLA. 25th ranked in the country. This team prides itself on beating Pac-12 teams. How good is this team in comparison to the teams you've been on at San Diego State?
I feel like we're not satisfied right now. You know, we still have a lot to prove. You know, we only played 4 games. You know, I feel like ranked 25, it goes off to the fans. You know, that's things for the fans. You know, it doesn't matter until the end of the season. I feel like we're not satisfied with how we're playing right now. Still got a lot to improve.
Jordan, what's it like when you get to Mountain West play? Because you did play Pac-12 opponents. You've won those games. But does the intensity change? Is it just different when it becomes conference games for you guys?
Of course. You know, we're fighting for a championship. A lot of teams are, too, especially in the conference. Conference, there's a lot of things. You know, a lot of things change, especially with the environment, all that stuff. And I just feel like being in conference, you got to prove a point. You got to do a lot. You know, there's a lot you have to do in the conference.
Hey, Jordan, some of these honors you're up for. I saw the Horning Award for the most versatile player in college athletics. You're averaging 63 yards on your kickoff returns. You had a huge one in that game against Utah. You're averaging 11.8 yards per carry and the second leading rusher at San Diego State. Did these awards mean anything to you? Is you're a senior now and you're playing this thing out? What does that kind of stuff mean to you?
I mean, I couldn't do it without my team. You know, there's 11 guys on the field, and I'm one of them. And those 10 guys that are blocking for me, I couldn't be in that position without them. You know, I give it up to them. You know, I wouldn't be in these positions without my team.
Yeah. You got an award when you were in Albuquerque last that you played. I know you've been home since, but and hopefully you've got it displayed and co-MVP of the New Mexico Bowl. That game was a pretty big day for you, and I know there was so much made, although you did get caught from behind, which amazed me that you almost scored that second touchdown. 139 rushing yards. You had 205 all-purpose yards in that win over Central Michigan. What was that day like for you?
It felt good. You know, being around my family and friends. Playing in New Mexico again was really fun. You know, I wasn't used to the weather at first. You know, being out here in San Diego, it was pretty cold out there. But other than that, it was really fun, especially doing that around my friends and showing my friends from Cali how New Mexico is.
Yeah, I tell all my buddies at San Diego that we got this thing called winter here. It's the crazy. This white stuff falls out of the sky, and you got to wear jackets. It's weird. You rep New Mexico pretty well. I mean, it still means a lot to you, doesn't it? You and Keyshawn, I know, and I know how special San Diego is. I lived there for 8 years, and you're in a pretty special spot. But the place that I'm in right now, and where you grew up, is pretty special too. And it's been important for you to rep Albuquerque, New Mexico, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, especially coming from New Mexico. You know, I love trying to get the name out there, especially New Mexico. You know, there's a lot of people out there that has talent, and it gets looked over, you know, because there's Texas and Arizona and places like that. But I know New Mexico has athletes out there, and I know they can improve a lot too.
Now, Jordan, when you were being recruited out of Manzana, you did have some pretty big time offers. So how important was it that you had someone like, at the time, a Danny Gonzalez that was part recruiting you to San Diego State, that he had the connections to New Mexico? How big of a factor was that in ultimately deciding San Diego State?
It was pretty good. You know, he really showed me that San Diego would be my second home, and felt like I had chemistry with the coaches and the players when I got here. And I think he said on one of his interviews I was one of the fastest in the NCAA. Well, I was like honored from that, what he's saying, or for him saying that. And you know, he's on the other team now, but he's still one of my favorite coaches. And sad that I didn't get to play with him, but other than that, I was really honored by that.
Yeah, you're one of the kindest, most genuine athletes that I've seen come through here. And Sebastian Noel sends his best. He says every time he comes through town, he hits me up and does my show. And there's a lot of people in Albuquerque, New Mexico, who are proud of you and watching your success. They may not be rooting for you this week, but they are every other week. Jordan, always appreciate you spending some time with us. Congratulations on all the success. And here's the Aztecs back in the national rankings and doing special things, and you're a gigantic part of it. Keep it going. Congratulations to you. Proud of you, young man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Be well. Jordan Bird is done Albuquerque, New Mexico proud. And I'll tell you what, he's been a heck of an Aztec. He really has. We'll continue with Peter Trevisani and David Carl when we get back, and we'll get back into the stadium conversation. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
Hi, my name is Adrian Chavez Sr., proud owner, operator of Lobo Protective Services. We are also a proud member of ProView Networks, as well as so excited that New Mexico Youth Sports is back. In order to join our team, please join us at www.loboprotectiveservices.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that could happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done. From laptop, I was able to nail down the bike I wanted, add a few customizations, and get an estimate on my trade-in.
Dream style roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
Well done, Peter. Well done, and thank you, 610. That's on the texter. That came from the same phone number that said you're in deep enemy territory. Peter Trevisani, David Carl are here. I want to continue the conversation, and honestly, guys, I appreciate this. This is the conversation that you and I have been trying to have. You've got a point of view. Other people have a point of view. I got questions, and I appreciate you. And David, like you said, like I disagree, but I understand.
Yeah.
And I think we all want the stadium to happen. You've got a vision. There's other visions. So what now? Here you are in the final stretch. Peter Trevisani is the managing partner. Is that the correct title?
Yeah.
Owner, managing, big dog.
Just Pete. Doesn't really matter.
What now? What's the push now that essentially ballots are open?
I mean, I think what we've been trying to do with United is just have transparency and just get the information out there as honestly and openly as we can. I think all we're asking is that people spend some time to hear what the real issues are, try to weave out maybe some of the misinformation that's out there, and then just make a decision and go out and vote. You know, if you don't go out and vote, then you're not part of the decision-making process. And we'd love to see everybody come, get out there and say what they want to say.
I will. There's a point that you told me during a break that I had no idea, and I think it's kind of important. If this passes and the community groups don't want it to go in there, like this goes to wherever the stadium is built, whether it's on Mesa del Sol or Uptown or downtown or Sawmill. Like I didn't know that. I thought it was for one of these two locations, and your point is this is the money will be there when the place is decided. A lot of people are really uncomfortable voting on something that they don't know where it's going to go, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But I did not know that point. I think it's important.
It is. I mean, the way I look at this is really simply, it's sort of if we'll use a baseball analogy, right? That the first stage is City Hall had to put it on the ballot, which they did 7-2. The next is the vote. If the vote doesn't happen, it dies, and then that's that. Then we have some uncertainty because we can't stay at isotopes long term, and the USL has a requirement that we're in a soccer-specific stadium within a reasonable amount.
The
of time.
USL is not going to abandon this market. The passion that's here. I mean,
I don't think so, but they do have to worry about their league status with U.S. Soccer. There are some other things behind the scenes, so they can't have a majority of their teams playing in baseball parks, but they are going to work with us. So no, it's not like we're closing down the team because we don't have a place to play.
Let's make that clear.
Let's make that clear. We're not picking up and moving to Indianapolis or Baltimore.
Because I don't want to get the email. Did he just threaten that the USL is going to pull and the team's leaving? That's not what you're saying.
But we
correct?
do need to find. We can't. The reality is, I think long term the Isotopes want to do some other programming there.
Well, it seems like everybody kind of wants to do their own thing, right?
Right.
I mean,
UNM wants to do their own.
You don't want to work. It's like I don't know that anybody wants to work together on this project. Everybody kind of wants their own deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone came together and said, look, without the Isotopes, there's no United. We weren't going to go play with the scale of this kind of team in a high school.
Yeah.
Just not the appropriate place. So getting Isotopes was critical. Essential. And so without them, it doesn't happen. And we're always going to acknowledge that and be grateful for that. They've been a good partner, and I think we brought a lot to the table for them as well. And hopefully we brought some incremental income to UNM through a couple of games that we've had there, through the parking, through, hopefully that's accretive jobs and income. So hopefully we've created a bigger pie already. And so we got to keep down that track. But if it doesn't pass, then it's dead. If it does pass, then we figure out the location, and that could be anywhere. And then once we have a location, we design it and build it. That's also a hurdle. So there's a lot of work to do, but if it doesn't pass, it's just a full stop, dead stop.
And to your point, Jeff, it's not just those 4 locations or those 2 locations that are identified in the study. It could be any number of locations. This vote on November 2nd, and again, underway right now, is just giving the opportunity for us to decide what that location might be.
I think that's a game changer, because even with as much as I've been trying to read up on this, I got the feeling that it was just down to those 2 places.
Nope.
So I definitely think that is a game changer for a lot of people moving forward, that this still is not, if there's no CBA there, it's not dead.
Yeah.
That's right. And in the agreement, one of the things United can do to walk away from the agreement, there's only 3 things. The bond doesn't pass, and the agreement dies. This is the agreement with the city, the binding letter of agreement. Yeah. If the design isn't agreed upon, so we have to make sure that we're building something that's going to work for everybody. And the other is the location. We have to agree on the location. So even if the city did want it, I don't think the city's going to want something we wouldn't want, and we're opposed that they can still do, I guess, a stadium just without us.
Just without your $10 million.
Yeah, without our $10 million, without
us occupying.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the end of the day. The city and us have been really aligned that we don't want to create harm. So the consultant picked a couple sites that work, but it could be anywhere.
So that's not gospel. The consultant's recommendations are not.
No, it's a recommendation from experts that there are 4 sites that they have done analysis. I think they even acknowledged there are other sites. They just didn't want to put 12 sites forward.
What would you say to the non-soccer fan that can't wrap their head around this project and might not be able to see why is this a quality of life for everyone if I don't go to soccer games?
Yeah, I mean, I would just start with simply this. We have to acknowledge that our city's hurting right now, right? We have a crime issue. We have homeless issues. We have a lot of problems. We're still on the bottom of a lot of the good lists and the top of a lot of the bad lists. There's nothing new there. At the same time, we're trying to work on those issues. We also have to build amenities and create projects that bring hope, that give our community a sense of pride, that bring our community together, that are a catalyst for positive change, that are going to create jobs, that are going to create reasons for our young people to stay here, to take pride in our city, and can create a bigger economic pie, which should help with homelessness and should help with crime. I don't think you have to be an expert in those areas to understand a really simple bridge there. So we can do all of those things concurrently. They don't have to be done one at a time. And when we do those things concurrently, we can solve our problems and create a bridge of hope and prosperity for generations to come.
He's Peter Trevisani, the managing partner, co-owner of New Mexico United, in studio with us. I think one of the words JJ just brought up is quality of life. When we started New Mexico Bowl 16 years ago, I said, this isn't a football game. It's a quality of life issue. It's like a big concert coming to town. It's like Hamilton coming to town, right? Maybe you don't go see a Broadway play. Maybe you don't want to go see Dave Matthews Band on Monday. But there's those opportunities, as you from Philly and you from Boston and grew up in Southern California, we have those options. Soccer game isn't going to be for everybody. And so I understand where that's coming from. And I think, moving forward, that's why like I told you earlier, I think at some point, I want to see a soccer stadium. I also want to see an arena. I think this city needs an arena.
absolutely.
an indoor arena.
Something for the Ice Wolves.
But it's a quality of life issue, and I think look, you guys might not like a bowl game, but I do.
I love a bowl game.
Right? Some people might not like soccer. They do. I do. Right? You may know my ex-wife just said, "Can I take Addie to go see Hamilton January 20th?" Yes, we're going to see Hamilton.
That's right.
I'm going to see Dave Matthews on Monday. This is betterment in the community. Now, how do we get there? Is it the right path? I think that's really the issue. I think most people in a bubble, if you said, "Hey, would it be better for Albuquerque to have a soccer stadium?" I think most people would say, yeah. Now people are saying, but where's it going to be? How are we paying for it? All of those questions. That feels like where we are right now.
Look, I agree. I think on the first point, you look at the bond ballot, and these are the things that come up every year. I may not go to the library,
right? But you vote.
But I vote for the library because I know it's important. I don't go to every museum and cultural center, but I think it's important. I don't go to all the parks; they're not near me.
I think that's analogous.
So we have $140 million. There's actually, I think, $25 million for homeless shelter on the bond or a community center, and there's another $25 million for public safety. So there's other things on. This is just one of the things, and so, I think that's really important to point out.
Yeah, it's not an either or conversation. I think we were saying that earlier. If fighting homelessness is something that's really important to you and it's important to me, I'm going to vote yes on that bond. I'm going to vote yes on a soccer stadium bond. In addition to that, I don't have to pick between those two.
And I think some of it too is getting caught up in the numbers right off the bat. Like, how is this going to be paid back? The city, you guys, it looks like the city has work to do in terms of the other half of the bond. If that's correct, you said $22.5 million that you guys are paying in rent. So it's going to be.
Well, let me go through some of the money as simply as I can, knowing that
because we probably have about a minute and a half, right?
Quick, good. If I could do it in a minute.
Yeah, we got a minute till music.
Okay, minute to music. Let's go. So. First of all, a bond, I think if you just simply put a bond as a loan. So the city borrows $50 million, and they have to pay interest. The interest payments are about $3 million a year. So they pay $3 million a year over 25 years, and then the stadium is paid off. New Mexico United, in addition to putting $10 million that can help pay for the stadium that we get nothing back on in terms of owning it, we've committed about $1 million a year guaranteed as a minimum payment. So now the city has to pay $2 million a year. And gross receipts tax, which is almost 9%, if we have a men's and women's team in there, we're going to have over $20 million of revenue. The gross receipts tax on that is over $2 million. So even just with that one thing, it pays itself back.
And clearly, United would be in a position, and you're not hiding from this either, to make revenue. You would have the naming rights on the stadium. You would have all the signage, all the sponsorship, like Isotopes does at Isotopes Park. You would have a revenue maker as well, and as you should as a business. So it's not like there's woe is me, all we're doing is just paying. You're going to have an incredible revenue stream coming in as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is a business.
But this isn't about maximizing profits, about maximizing outcomes. So yes, we can have
you
profits.
You got to make profits to be successful and still be here.
We can do both.
Yeah, and nobody's saying you shouldn't.
That's capitalism. There's a word for it.
That's the way it works, and it should be that way. And so it's got to be constructed that way. Appreciate you spending some time with us.
Thanks, guys. Can't wait to see you at a game.
Yeah, let's do this conversation again. Anytime you want. You're always welcome here. And we're not enemies.
Never have been.
No, we never. Let's make that very clear. Best of luck to you tonight against Hartford, by the way.
Awesome. Great. So always good to sit with the fellow New Mexicans.
Thanks to Jordan Bird, Sebastian Noel, Peter Trevisani, David Carr. They were all with us today. Hey, Marie, great work. Adrian, great work. We're back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. with award-winning radio for you. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will see you tomorrow.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.